Oh. Okay. Let's do it. So we're gonna go from the Vaush perspective. A 2-hour talk. Did they really yell at each other for 2 hours? Did they really? Is it really a whole 2? It can't be this long. It can't be. Okay.
Redact from Redacted. Mauling about Vaush, part 1. Oh my goodness, we got multiple parts to this. Let's go. Oh, so I want to be perfectly clear from the get-go, okay? I've never had a particularly high opinion of Mike from PA for a number of reasons that are probably going to become incredibly evident as we listen to him talk. But I didn't really engage with it because even though my impression of him is low, I generally don't believe in like starting shit unless a personal slight has been directed against me in some way, you know? I mean, if we're talking like a Nazi, then obviously like I don't need them to wrong me to disagree with them. But in the lefty community, I don't want to go like if they haven't done anything to me, then whatever. But anyway, so it looks like he's done something. So, all right, let's see.
Do you guys remember that? Now, there were other people. For example, Vaush. This goes straight out to Vaush.
Hey, what's up?
Vaush was one of those people who spent most of his time punching left.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a bunch of other irrelevants, but mostly Vaush. I really want to point out to Vaush here. Vaush is the #1 candidate, and I'd be happy to talk to him. And by the way, chat, we had some DMs. I continually challenged Vaush. I continually said, hey, man, you want to come on? I'll have a conversation. I said, I heard you've mentioned me on stream a few times. Want to have a chat?
Are we okay?
Okay, say it's about 40 minutes in. Okay, let's go 40 minutes in.
We don't get to...
Crazy. Do I have Mike in, Yeah, Mike from... Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Want to call real quick, question mark, winky face. There we go. He's talking a lot about my dick and balls, so I figure, you know, maybe? I don't know. I got to shoot my shot, right? We'll see. He has to say yes, right? Because after all the posturing he's done about how I'm a coward, if he's actually the one who backs out of the conversation, that would be, okay. Oh, I don't know about that one.
So,
optics-wise.
What am I missing, right? What am I going into this not knowing? What's the background, right? Because I'm not watching the first 45 minutes. I do not care enough. I do not get paid enough to watch the first 45. Oh, by the way, speaking of payment, okay? We just had 4 hours of conversations about veganism, the ethics of fishing, and long-term discussions about messaging with the neoliberal project. Where are all the subs and donos at from chat, okay? Where are all those subs and donations? Okay? Look, all I'm saying is I voluntarily went into a discussion about veganism. Now, I did that to talk about animal abuse. But not getting paid for it, that's abuse. A relevant millennial, thank you so much for gifting to Dono. And Zombieful, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
Is occurred.
Appreciate it, buddy. That is streamer abuse. It should be illegal under international law not to give me money. I don't think anybody would have an objection to that. A van down by the river, thank you so much for subbing with your Prime Gaming sub, becoming a premium friend of the channel. My personal parasocial relationship best friend. Thank you so much. Okay, so basically in Vaush's video about Destiny's drama included a small shout out to Mike for donating to a rival candidate out of spite, then escalated to this. Vaush made a gentle criticism at the end of a video, then Mike called him a rat fuck. Then Vaush went over the clip, and then Mike called him at the end of it, and that's where you are. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it's petty, and just go into it.
Flirt with him? Yeah, maybe we'll flirt with him a little bit. Is this going to be better or worse than that psychopath and Fred? I think he's going to shout about as much. I have a feeling that he's not actually going to let me talk, which, I mean, okay, we'll see how funny it gets. If it doesn't end up being funny, I'll just leave. What else is the point, right? Uh-oh, he's not responding. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Could it be cowardice? What's happening? Oh, no. Oh, no. Hey, come on, guys. Go into his chat. What are you doing? Go over to his chat. Ask.
When do they start?
Oh, there he is. Wait, we got a smiley face.
Here we go. Ciofricolo, I have no clue how to pronounce your name. Thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub, though, and Medicine for the 100
Wait,
biddings,
we
okay?
only got a smiley face. Is that
Becoming
a yes?
more premium friends in chat, eh?
Is this flirting? Should I not leak this? Oh, shit. I'll just call, I guess.
Yes, mad, pretty, embarrassingly petty. Okay, got it. Vox, thanks so much for the tier 1. Vouch.
You're saying yes with a smiley face. Okay, damn.
I know they talk a little bit about like city level politics, so I hope I can contribute to that. I think they talked a little bit about like annexing suburbia.
I'm just waiting. This is the right mic from PA, right? In 5 of my servers, has the little rose for an avatar. He's super hyped up right now, so prepare for some re. Oh, I don't doubt it. We've been soy chugging for a while.
Hello, what's up, buddy?
Hello, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, have anything on your mind?
I just want to know why you are a kind of weaselly whenever you talk about me.
Weaselly.
For example, I've had a problem with you for a very long time, but I've tried to build a bridge. I showed my stream the entire history of our DMs. I encourage everyone to go.
See, look, I would maybe go on a moralistic runabout about leaking messages, but I think of all the people on Twitch, I'm probably the worst person to do that, considering my history with Tree. So I think I'll be quiet.
Watch the VOD, and you'll see, and everyone will see that I bent over backwards to try to be bridge builder kind.
Hey, you're very good at bending over backwards to me.
Okay, whatever. I mean, this is the type of person you are, because I reached out because I care about socialism and the left. I'm not somebody who's just a supporter of online content creation like you.
I read their server.
I actually do this stuff.
The sewer socialism wiki page. I have no idea what the link with the convo. Is it just a fancy way to say invest in infrastructure? As far as I know, I only heard like sewer socialism brought up maybe once, and from what I know, it has to do with like participation in electoral politics reform in comparison to like I'm gonna overthrow the government revolution. It's not really like a commonly used term, I would say. I mean, maybe in like socialist circles, like maybe if you like you're super active in like DSA, like educational, like speeches and stuff like that, maybe. But I haven't heard the term used very often, and I only heard it maybe used once.
I do the work, and I saw you with a platform. Oh, you're gonna what do you do?
No, wait. You know what I do? I make YouTube videos, but I'm asking because you're.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
what do you? I'm just asking.
I've ran for office. I've won. I've helped multiple people win political office. I've raised well over $1 million for people.
Does anybody know the candidates? Wait, how much million?
People win political office. I've raised well over $1 million for people. I've organized campaigns.
Does anybody know the campaigns he's worked on? I know he ran for state senate or delegate, and that had its own little thing with it. But I don't know the campaigns he's worked on. I haven't seen it anywhere. Does anybody have a source on like the campaigns Mike from PA has worked on? I'm actually curious. None. He doesn't want to dox the campaigns he won't say. He doesn't say. Okay, so it's not none. He just doesn't want to dox them, or he doesn't want to say them. Well, to be fair, right, considering the type of people he interacts with online, I guess it would make sense, right, that he wouldn't say exactly which campaigns he works with, because, for example, right, like me saying that I'm with the Gravel campaign, or I was with the Gravel campaign, or I'm with all these people, considering the type of people I talk to on a daily basis, like, for example, I still haven't announced which 2022 campaign I'm going to be a financial director for. Maybe it's because I'm waiting for a good moment, or maybe because I just don't know if I want to announce it, because I don't know how I'm gonna like cross over my like political life with my streamer life. My solution is most likely I'm just gonna be open with you guys and tell you, but I might keep that on Twitter and not as much on stream. But that still means it would be accessible for anybody who wants to go look it out. If you look at my description on Twitter, it lists basically most of the campaigns and a lot of the work I've done. Drew, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming sub. Hope you're doing well, man. Hey, I'm still living. And Gappy, the Minecraft speedrunner, gave me a tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. DCK Punk, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub as well. Hey, we're getting a lot of gift subs now. We're actually starting to catch up. Maybe one day we're going to hit that sub goal.
And every single...
But if so, can we get a confirmation he just doesn't say publicly which campaigns he worked on? You just don't know? I'm pretty sure if I asked him in private and he kept it confidential, maybe he'd tell me. Actually, you know what? I'll DM him. I won't. Obviously, I'm not going to tell anybody, but I'm just personally curious. Then again, with everything going on right now, he might just see it as like, I'm getting that so I can leak it and undermine him, right? So maybe I just shouldn't even bother. I don't know.
Job, hold on. Finance director, field director. Now you want to investigate who I did. You want to go look
no,
up all the candidates?
Wait, hold on. Wait, but bar the.
Well, I am curious, right? I mean, not to like say Mike's like a liar or anything when it comes to these things, but I am genuinely curious when somebody says like, "Oh, I did this job." I'm like, "Oh, for what campaign?" For example, like I'm super open. I managed the Patrick Wohan campaign to an electoral victory with 70% of the vote in a 3-way race. I am a financial director for a campaign that will be announced soon, that I will announce which campaign I'm doing it for, but I am currently doing it. I'm managing data right now before we start sending out donation requests. I was on the Mike Ravel campaign, Michaela Wilkes, Jill Carter. I did some stuff for the 21st District. I've accidentally let slip which political pack I work for, even though it's probably not the smartest move. Actually, no. I remember my last boss said I could do it, so who cares? 21st Century Democrats. So, am I on good terms with Mike? At the moment, I assume so. Of course, I have problems with Mike. Like, when I say that, I mean, like, I disagree with him on some stuff. Like, obviously, the Mark Gudgel thing, I disagree with him on pretty fervently. But it's like, whatever. I honestly, like... It's not, like, something I'm gonna burn a bridge over. I really don't like burning bridges until it, like, gets unbearable for me. Red Duo, thank you so much for the gifted tier 1. And Zell for the gifted tier 1 to Central Committee. My most devoted follower. My most devoted fan. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, we gotta watch this, don't we?
Are the insecurity? I'm just asking questions. If this is all stuff you're proud of, you should have no problem answering any of these questions openly.
I have no interest in sending DGG and Vaush's mad fans after small little politicians that I've helped get elected.
Why would we... Wait, hold on.
Because that's what these audiences are like.
So, I will say that, okay, you don't want to know what? This is probably part of the reason why I'm so diplomatic, is because since my name is publicly out there, people know who I am. People know where I live. Well, people know which campaigns I've worked for. That if I just start and crap all the time, it's going to increase the possibilities they just start harassing the campaigns I worked for or calling them to get me fired. We do? Yeah, you do. Okay, let's see how easy it is to figure out like where I live, right? Number one, you could go into look how easy it is. You click here, go to my profile, political consultant, Former advisor to Meet McKellar and Jill Carter. Huh. Who are these people? And this used to say I was on this College Park City Board environmental board, right? It used to say that. So it used to be even easier. But then you just go here. Who is this? This is somebody in Maryland. Huh. He lives in Maryland. Then you just look at my position. You look at my posts, and eventually, if you scroll down enough, you'll find me making posts as a board member in College Park. So it's not super difficult to find out where I live. And so I try to be more diplomatic because I just don't want to deal with that. I just don't want to deal with a horde of people angry at me trying to get me fired, right? Thankfully, since this is where I get most of my money, it won't affect my living situation, but it could definitely affect my career. Just, you know, be careful, you know? Just walk out the door at the house number, but we can't do that. Out the door to look at the house number, but we can't do that. What do you mean, Pinkwug? Oh, well, you don't know my exact address. I'm saying you know what city and you know my general where I live. You know most information about me except for my phone number and my address. That's the only two things you guys don't know about me. And so since a lot of you guys know who I've worked for or will know who I work for in the future possibly, I just don't want no harassment campaigns being pushed towards them. So I try to be careful how I interact with certain communities, right? Gas Guzzler, thank you so much for the tier, not even the tier, for the Prime Gaming sub. Shouting Blood content. Yeah, honestly, I'm delaying this as much as possible because I'm scared where this is going to go. So let's just go into it.
So my audience attacks
hard to figure it out.
Progressive politicians. That's a thing my audience does. Hey, look, dude, if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally okay. Don't kiss and tell, right? I get it. So you were saying I wasn't building bridges or whatever?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Oh yeah, I just don't really think you're like a worthwhile person, and I think that you contribute harm to the left. Oh well, online at least. Maybe in person you do good stuff.
Really good poison.
Okay, worthwhile person is a pretty low blow. Okay, worthwhile person. Damn, fucking. Look, you can't go up to somebody and say you're not a worthwhile person and expect that to end well. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, worthwhile person. Look, if you wanted to say, I don't think you're like a good activist, or I don't think that a lot of the work, I don't think you help the left with your rhetoric, or something like that, and then you get into the like, even that would be something that would hit me hard. But worthwhile person, damn, man.
Sitting the well with your audience.
Wait,
really good job.
After that clip that I got sent to view on stream malding because of like an incredibly light criticism at the end of a video, you're going to talk to me about poisoning the well?
What do you say when you say you spit in someone's face? Would you call that light criticism?
I think that when I said I spit in someone's face, I was referring specifically to one of the chatters who got brought onto Destiny's stream, who like acted like an utter buffoon. They were a previous member of my community. I banned them. That was referring to somebody else. Did you think I was talking about you?
Because they were against Destiny, and everybody who's against Destiny in your
community. No, it was because their behavior was abhorrent, and they devolved into sexually harassing Destiny.
Everybody who's not a Destiny supporter on your community is out
Calm
the door.
down. I know you think about him a lot.
How many times can he humiliate you and treat you like shit?
1 point.
Okay, so let me be clear. The person that Vaush is talking about who sexually harassed Destiny on stream, really disgusting. And as somebody who's like been a guy who sexually harassed before, it's easy to like it's something that can easily be laughed off, like haha, but it's a legitimate issue. So when it comes to like that specific instance, like you should not be like if somebody's going around like just sexually harassing people, like obviously that isn't just something that should be laughed off. That's a real legitimate thing. So yeah, it's cool that Vaush took that into consideration. Obviously. And I know the exact instance they're talking about because the person went on to Destiny stream intoxicated and told him to like take out his dick on stream and stuff like that. It was really uncomfortable. They said it multiple times over and over. It was super degrading. And yeah, no, it was pretty gross.
The time like a man. So if you actually watch Like a Man, you are in no position to talk about manhood, my rat-faced little friend. So let's focus first and foremost on the first point that you made. You can slap me around.
Oh my god, slap each other. Okay, look. Oh my god. I think Vaush might have like done box, but these Okay, so these are what you would call two men in peak physical condition fighting machines. UFC fighters, perhaps. I think they're at the top of their division. They're gonna go out there. They're street fighters, you know. They don't do boxing at UFC. That's for the losers. They're street fighters. They're legit. They're hardcore, right? We got some two Kimbo Slices over here, guys. Okay, these people. This is the backyard kind of like blood sports that you're just not gonna see on television. This is the type of fighting they regulated out of the UFC. This is UFC season 1 and 2, okay?
Right. You could slap. You're actually resorting to like keyboard warrioring.
You just said that I'm a rat face,
dude. We all wait. Why would you say that? We all know what you look like. We all know what you look and act like in person. Why would you resort to that?
By the way, chat, this is Vaush. This is the
you should get into VTubing so people will forget what you look like, and maybe then it'll really
dude, look at yourself. Are you kidding me? Neither one of us are Hassan over here. Okay?
Yeah, man. I boxed for 8 years. I'm 6'2", 250 pounds. Yeah, dude.
Wait, he boxed for how long?
Hassan over here. Okay?
Yeah, man. I boxed for 8 years.
Hey, a fellow boxer. Okay, so Vaush did box. Dope. Dope. That's really cool. I boxed out of Sugar Ray Leonard's boxing center for like while I was in high school. If you look at my ring, you'll see my class ring actually has boxing gloves on it. Kind of hard to see because it's blurry, but there are boxing gloves. Dope. I didn't know that. Well, I heard it, but I didn't confirm it.
6'2", 250 pounds. Yeah, dude. I'll hold it up, baby. Yeah, lay it down. I'll take you. Hey, I'll take you in the streets and in the sheets, buddy. Okay, I'm skilled all over. I'm a fighter and a lover.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure.
You were talking about my dick and balls quite a bit in those clips.
Tacoma wept when you got off Tinder.
Yeah. Well, right? Hey, hold on. Wait. Where do you live? Or is that doxing? I mean, I can come on over after COVID's done, maybe. Like you were just talking about my dick, over and over.
Listen to this child. Holy shit, dude.
You having fun with the forced laugh over there? You're like that Joker. What's the Joker from Suicide Squad? What was the name of the actor?
Holy fuck.
What was the name of the actor?
That's a good question. So
wait,
this is what
I'm waiting for chat.
Debate about.
I will say that the laugh does seem super forced. It does seem like a forced laugh. I'm the Joker, baby. Yeah, it seems like a super forced laugh. I've seen Mike do it before. I guess he's trying to like add emphasis, but yeah, you can see him kind of like inhale before like he does it, like pretty hardcore.
Wait. Jared Leto,
this is
thank
what you want to debate about.
No, actually, I wanted to roll back to an earlier point that you made.
Okay, go to the point.
When I talked about spitting in the face of somebody, it was because a person who used to be in my community resorted to sexual harassment of Destiny in a conversation with him. So I just want to ask you, look, neither of us are a fan of Destiny. You obviously dislike him. You obviously dislike him more than I do. That's totally okay.
Yeah, because do you think it's acceptable to create false impressions and lie about me?
Right. So do you think it's acceptable to sexually...
Give me your top 3 favorite fights? Dude, I just give you the Gaddy versus Ward trilogy. I don't even need to give you like 3 separate fights.
Harass people like Destiny.
Wait, you're asking me about sexual harassment?
Yeah. Wait. It's a yes. Wait, you're posturing again, Mike.
Asking me about sexual harassment.
Mike,
really?
Hey, I'll put it this way. I don't have any clips of me on live stream fail absolutely bombing at touching a girl's shoulder, okay? Now answer yes or no. Is it okay to...
Okay, so this is gonna get down back into like their history. Mike's like creepy or / weird or whatever you want to call it, like moment where he attached Bad Bunny's shoulder and then went like this or whatever. And this is gonna get into Vaush's history of like really sexually aggressive, sexually harassing DMs. And obviously one of these is worse than the other. I don't know why Vaush would tried to like divert it. He should have just stayed on point. Vaush here should have just like stayed on point, like, well, if the topic of discussion, yes, I do want to talk to you about sexual harassment. I know about my history with it. Anyway, should we excuse people who sexually harass streamers we don't like? And I think if that was the discussion point put down, it'd be pretty hard for Mike to say, well, no, it's okay when people sexually harass Destiny, obviously. But I don't know why he even allowed a pivot to occur there. He could have just stayed on point.
Sexually harassed.
What do you think that was? What do you think that was?
Can you answer any question?
Yeah, I'm going to answer the question.
Do you pivot away from anything that I ask? So is it okay to sexually harass Destiny? Yes or no?
No, of course it's not.
Okay, so that is why I said...
Is it okay to sexually harass people in Discord?
No, it's not. Not even remotely. So that's why I said,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
What a surprising position for me to take.
When did you change your position on that? This year?
I've never actually changed my position on that. Are you okay?
Oh.
You're digging up like 4-year drama to try to back out of the fact that you have no idea what you're talking about.
But then he did the whole.
Now,
I absolutely am talking to you about reality of stuff that you did and you apologize for.
The person who I said I spit in the face of. That was the person who I was referring to.
Okay, well, you said spit in the face of lefties. Oh, by the way, Mike from PA, he donated to the other opponent. Oh, wait, and then you said you were going to talk about it, but then you didn't. You didn't talk about who I actually supported.
What didn't
I talk about? Why? Do you know who? Wait. One point at a time.
Wait. Hold on. So first of all,
about her or not?
Carrie Easton is another candidate in the area that's is pretty progressive as well. The main reason I support Mark Gudgel over them is because I think he has, after my personal conversations with him, have made promises on stuff like anti-homeless architecture that I have yet to see her even take a position on. So, I do think that, Mike from PA does not give Mark Gudgel enough credit on him being a progressive, and I think Mike from PA specifically called Mark Gudgel center-right because he wants to incentivize companies to come into the area, specifically into Omaha, which doesn't make him center-right. And I had this exact question. I asked him about if he was to do this, would he be willing to go down the rabbit hole until he's basically cutting taxes to a point where the net gain to the community would actually be outweighed by the net negative in taxable income. And he said that he would try to find that line of where the net gain and net negative is and negotiate basically up to it and wouldn't go past it, which, you know what, wasn't the perfect answer to my question. But that being weighed next to his answers on anti-homeless architecture, LGBTQ plus issues, him saying that he would not cooperate with ICE and make Omaha a sanctuary city. Maryland sucks. Somebody banned Chase. I understand he just raided me, but there we go. Did we ban him? Boom. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. Will not have anti-Maryland hate speech put in this chat. Just want to make that very clear. Okay? Great. Not in my community. Not against the best state in the union. Okay? Anyway. I think I unbanned him. Anyway. Yeah, I just feel like he got super... I really do feel like Mike got super aggressive against Mark, specifically because Destiny supported him. I think that's pretty obviously what happened. I mean, I sent my video to Mike in one of the replies, but I don't know if he ever sat down and watched it. Another criticism he had of Mark was that he was not endorsed by the teachers union, which I wish he was, but he also is a teacher, so I think and a member of the teachers union. So that is an area I'm particularly concerned about, if he's a member of the teachers union and also a teacher.
You were wrong on the first point. I talked about that she existed. Was there something else you wanted me to mention?
Why I might have supported her other than spite?
So let me wait, just to be perfectly clear.
I'll
ask you an honest question. So you're telling me that you arrived at the decision to make a monetary contribution to an Omaha, Nebraska mayoral candidate, and it had nothing at all to do with the fact that Destiny was involved in that race and that person was an opposition candidate.
Do you have to be purely pure of your entire intention?
I asked you a question. Wait, I asked you a question, Mike. You were just like, I want to contribute to a mayoral race today.
Is this how you debate people? You move goalposts like this?
I'm actually just trying to keep you on to the questions that I ask, and you're trying to run away from them.
I don't think it's the only reason he did it, but I think it was the main motivating factor. If you want me to be honest, I think one of the main motivating factors for me supporting Mark originally, not supporting, but interviewing Mark, was because Destiny, it was Destiny's guy, and he wanted to listen to Destiny's guy and give him a platform, stuff like that. But then after interviewing him and after doing my research, he was somebody I wanted to endorse because I liked his positions. And after having that personal conversation with him and the amount of time he's taken to actually continue to have conversations with me about things I care about, shows to me at least that he cares about the issues that I care about. And so that's why I ended up supporting Mark Gudgel over the other candidates. But the original reason, and I'll be clear with that, is because Destiny put him on my radar.
Mike.
Your position was that you said
originally the main
that
reason
I supported her purely out of spite, and now it is.
Do you just really care about Omaha? Just something you did on your own, like no other reason, no other pressure?
So I've been paying attention to Omaha politics for a long time. I know you don't know this. You don't know dog shit about politics.
I have always been deeply invested in the city of Omaha, Nebraska.
Can't tell if that was a forced laugh or not too, so I can't tell if Vaush is being hypocritical with the forced laughs.
Fact that I donated right as Destiny got dropped by Mark Gudgel, a complete coincidence. Dude, you're such it's unbelievable what a coward you are. Just own the fact that it was spite. If you had said, yeah, it's spite, and just walked away, that would have been a Chad move. You want to be an alpha male, right? You want to be a big dick boy, right? Just walk away from it. Say, yeah, it was spite. I don't like Destiny.
Alpha males are real? Do you think that alpha and beta?
I used to, but then I saw your stream, and no, I don't think so anymore. That belief has been utterly destroyed.
Thank you for that, man. You are. I mean, you
kept talking about my dick and asshole on your stream. Do you think about my dick and asshole often?
I don't think many people think about that, Vaush.
No, that's good because I don't like being sexually harassed by people, like the kinds of people you endorse implicitly.
Jesus Christ, you're worse than Mitch McConnell. All right.
What?
Omaha is part of Nebraska, and Nebraska splits its
wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait, you're going to need to slow down. You're going to need to slow down.
Needs a basic education. He's embarrassed.
Is in Nebraska. Wait.
We're just gonna walk past him saying he's worse than Mitch McConnell? We're not even gonna address that. We're not gonna slow it down and like revisit that. We're not gonna revisit that. We're not gonna slow down. Thanks so much for the tier 1, buddy.
Wait, hold on. Let's back up a couple of paces, okay? Can you explain that one to me?
Are you confused?
Yeah, I want you to explain Omaha's in Nebraska. Wait, one step at a time, okay?
Let me ask you a question, dummy. Who is Kara Eastman?
Is it an Omaha official?
Carrie Eastman is the woman who currently is mayor of Omaha, who's a Republican woman who is super like anti-LGBT, really, really regressive, and is the person we need to beat in the general election in Omaha after the Democratic primary.
Who is Carrie Eastman?
I don't know who Carrie Eastman is.
I know you don't, because you don't talk about politics because you're stupid.
Okay.
Carrie Eastman is one of the most important Medicare for All candidates in Congress in
Wait. Nah, I got it mixed up. Carrie Eastman is actually not that person. I completely messed that up. Carrie Eastman. I got that mixed up with the other woman. Huh, yeah, I was wrong. Inside the Mind of Charles Swan.
2020 and 2018.
Who is the... Give me a moment. Mayor of Omaha. No, it's Jean Tonthert. Okay, so I was right about the being part of 150% of the population. Okay, I was somewhat right. Oof, I got egg on my face. Dylan is fraud. Kara Eastman. He was saying Carrie Eastman? He was saying Kara or Carrie?
I know you don't.
Official?
Dummy.
Wait, one step at a time, okay?
Let me ask you a question, dummy. Who is Kara Eastman?
Is it an Omaha official?
Okay, so Kara Eastman. Okay.
A curd is a curd.
American nonprofit executive policy. She was a Nebraska Democratic Party nominee for U.S. Representative for 2nd Congressional District in 2018. It's politically progressive. Okay, but this has nothing to do... I mean, this has to do with Nebraskan politics. And it has to do with, like... It does have to do with Omaha. Okay, so how does this connect to this specifically?
Official?
Who is Carrie Eastman?
Chase Mitchell,
I don't
thanks for
know who
giving
Carrie
to tier
Eastman
1.
is.
I know you don't, because you don't talk about politics because you're stupid.
Oh, she endorsed the other candidate. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Kara Eastman is one of the most important Medicare for All candidates in Congress in 2020 and 2018.
Okay, candidates. Okay, so... Okay, I can explain exactly why most people won't know who that is. I don't remember basically any of the candidates who ran, okay? I remember the ones that I worked on the campaign of and no one else, because I can barely remember the names of my family members and friends and a select few politicians, and you're going to also get me to remember the people who lost. The only ones I remember are the ones that made an impression, like Richard Ojeda, what's her name? Paula Jean Swearingen, and some like ones from my local area. Most people are not going to know that. I mean, it is relevant to Nebraska and Omaha politics. And I guess so it's going to have to do with the endorsement?
That's awesome.
And she was supported by a lot of people, like, AOC, and she was running in Congress. Now, in Omaha, the Republican, the other Democrat who lost the primary to Carrie Eastman and her husband endorsed the Republican. And so that created it. See, since I talk about politics and I don't just...
I'm getting so smart right now.
Posture about it. You just posture about it. You don't know shit.
Do we need to make...
Shit.
Do we need... Okay, so this is a really dumb purity test because I didn't know the name. Vaush didn't know the name. Most people didn't know the name. I would sure probably even a decent amount of Nebraskans don't know the name. Knowing one name of a failed candidate is not a good standard to hold. I would say most people in my district don't remember who Michaela Wilkes is. And I worked on her campaign. Now, I would say maybe some do, and hopefully that will help her when she's running again, because she has announced she will be running again in 2022. But I don't think that's a weird standard to tell if somebody is or doesn't know about politics. I'm just terrible with names.
I've been watching that race for a very long time and commentating on it, showing how important it was if we care about Medicare for all. And ultimately, the centrist Democrats helped betray her, stab her in the back, endorse the Republican. And that resulted in a narrow Republican win. And in Nebraska, they divide the electoral college votes by congressional district. So I pay attention to that swing electoral college vote. Now,
right,
I know
that's what wait, we already said that. Yeah. You just follow Omaha mayoral races very closely and just happen to donate to the opposition candidate. Like right as Destiny got kicked by...
Okay, he still hasn't made the connection between this candidate and Omaha, specifically this candidate that he's supporting. It's Midwestern District electoral stuff many wouldn't know, but she's smeared by the GDP as radical and was why she mattered at all. Okay. It's a nonsense purity test. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, this is not like basic political knowledge. Somebody not knowing this doesn't mean anything. For example, like if I really wanted to, I could walk onto anybody's stream and quiz them about I don't know, Polk in the Mexican-American War, or Rojava, the SDF. What does the SDF stand for? What's the YPG? What's the YPJ? What's the difference between YPG and YPJ? What was the name of the politician that was dragged out of the car and shot by Turkish force? Like, I could do that and be like, wow, you say you know about politics? Do you even put any research to foreign policy? But that'd be silly because people like cover different areas of politics, and it just seems super. It just seems like a weird purity test for one specific failed candidate. If this was like Nancy Pelosi and he didn't know what he was talking about, that'd be another thing. But this is again a failed candidate in a state.
And I never denied that laughing at Destiny is something I love to do. And you supporting him and rushing to his defense like a pathetic little lackey.
Oh no, I don't think she's a nobody, but there's a lot of people that's a nobody. Like for instance, if I just started okay, here's something I could do. Let's do this right now, right? We can do this right now. I got a test for you all. Okay. Okay, everybody. Can people tell me who Neil Dunn is? Somebody tell me who Neil Dunn is. Tell me who Neil Dunn is, everybody. Neil Dunn. Neil Dunn. Everybody know Neil Dunn? Anybody here know Neil Dunn? Neil Dunn. Neil Dunn, everybody. Who doesn't know Neil Dunn? But Neil Dunn, guys, he sits on the Energy and Commerce Committee. He's from Florida's 2nd District. Florida is a swing state. The Energy and Commerce Committee? Who doesn't know about you guys don't know about the energy? You are all pointless, uneducated, nincompoop dunderheads for not knowing the intrinsic, deep Neil Dunn lore. I could do this all day. I could just pick up a list of Congress people. And you want to know what? You can say that person wasn't a nobody. Okay. Neil Dunn actually won his election. And he actually sits on a somewhat important committee, Energy and Commerce, in an important swing state, Florida. None of you knew who he was. Does that mean you all just know nothing about politics? No. It's because there's a lot of names in Congress. A lot of people sit in Congress. A lot. Hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. And that's on top of thousands of people who try to run for office every 2 years. On multiple parties. So yeah, one failed candidate, even if they were endorsed by Bernie, even with some strange extenuating circumstances, is not going to, if not knowing who they are, is not going to be a good test for if somebody knows anything about politics. That's a ridiculous test. Tea Time BB Styles, thank you so much for the tier 1. And for anybody who actually wants to learn who Neil Dunn is, here's his website. Okay, let's go.
If you're
something you like to do that even your own community.
Now I'm testing myself because now I don't know if my laughs are fake or legit or not. Now I can't. Now I'm double guessing myself.
If they're being good faith for a second.
Oh, if they're being good. I see. Wait. So you were about to say even your own community, and then you realized, wait, hold on, his community does not back anything that I do, and then you had to add if they're acting in good faith. I got that too. Your community, if they're acting in good faith, by the way, all think that you're a beta male and that I'm alpha. By the way, if they're acting in good faith. I mean, if they're not, then there's nothing I can.
You know what we should do from now on? Every time I have a conversation with somebody in politics on Twitch, I should ask at the end if they know who Neil Dunn is, and if they say no, I should ban them from my server. That should be the new rule.
Hey, do you know who Roderick Alden is?
No, I don't know who Roderick is.
You don't know who fucking Roderick is, and you're claiming to give a shit about the Nebraska mayoral race?
See, this, you can just do this all day.
So anyway, the reason why I came to decide to support that candidate against other ones is because she was endorsed by Carrie Eastman, a candidate who I've been following, and is very important because we need to have cases where progressive politicians win in swing states who support Medicare for all. Because I care deeply about Medicare for all.
Yeah,
and I
as opposed to me, a person who never talks about it.
I mean, you don't know who Carrie Eastman is, one of the most important progressive races in the entire country. So you probably don't care that much. One of the most important.
What is that? That is a ridiculous standard. There is a lot of politicians and candidates who really care about Medicare for all. But if you really care about Medicare for all, you also need to be able to list the ones who are the staunchest opponents. So you need to have a list of basically all Republicans and every Democrat who also opposes Medicare for all. Or what about if you care about Medicare for all and are solely approaching Medicare for all through stepping stones to get there? So then also you need a list of all the people who support a public option, which you could see maybe as a stepping stone to get to Medicare for all. But wait. You also need a separate list of people who did sign on to the Medicare bill in the House, but might actually oppose it and are just doing that for virtue signaling. I'm sure Mike might throw that at Kamala Harris, for example. Then you're also going to need to look not only at the ones who have succeeded in gaining electoral office who support Medicare for all, which is over, half of Democrats at this point. You also need to look at the candidates as well. And if you can't name all of them, then are you truly a real progressive? That's ridiculous.
Progressive.
I had no clue. I just took a guess. I just thought, I remembered that the mayor of Omaha was a woman, that she was a Republican, super progressive, bad on LGBT issues, don't like them. And I heard the name. I was just, what's the name of that woman again? And I just kind of tried to connect the dots because I thought it would be more directly connected to the city race and not just like an endorsement.
Of races the entire. I mean, she lost multiple times. Usually, I like focus on.
She lost narrowly because she was betrayed by her own party.
So you think that being?
Let's look it up quick. Kara Eastman, Ballotopedia. I think I've seen her face before, maybe, but then maybe I'm like, she looks like somebody else, possibly. Let's look. Lost narrowly. How narrowly? Lost by about 4 points. Okay, yeah, lost it by about 4 points in 2020 to Don Bacon. Man, I should have used Don Bacon. You know what would have been a Chad move by Vaush if he came out and was like, "Do you know who Don Bacon is?" No, that's who Kara Eastman's gonna have to go up against in 2024. What? How do you not know? Just complete 2022. Yeah, this is like a ridiculous purity test, obviously.
So you think that being aware of her specific like candidacy is the linchpin for whether or not a person is familiar with?
It's just that one of many things that you're lacking in knowledge.
Oh, there are absolutely. I love learning. I learn every day that I do this stuff.
So maybe if you sat back and started learning instead of flapping your gums all the time.
Well, I learned. Well, hold on. I learned by talking because talking is how I do my stream, and doing my stream helps me come to grips with certain issues. Do you understand how that works?
Yeah, you need to spend more time listening though before flapping the gums.
Interesting. I mean, that's what I would say in response to like the clips that I got shown of you, because you lied openly about like multiple components of our interactions, but you talked like for 12 minutes about nothing.
Okay, what did I lie about?
Sure. The idea that you challenged me in DMs. Dog, I don't know if you're a 12-year-old girl on MySpace or what. Those were not challenges.
Wait, do you want me to insult you? Are you 5?
You weren't challenging me on anything.
I said multiple. I showed the whole DMs. Everyone can go.
I showed the whole DMs too. By the way, a little bit faux pas showing DMs out of nowhere.
On your stream. Do you want to chat? Now, I don't know what you do.
You backed out 3 times. There were 3 distinct times where I made an opening for you. The first time you didn't respond in time. The second time you weren't available on that day. And the third time it was kind of both of us. We just petered out. There wasn't a single point in the entirety of those DMs where you challenged me. We went over them too. But you said you challenged me like 10 times in that rant. I love the idea that you're trying to convince your audience that you're like in my DMs fucking like, yeah, muscle up, Vaush. When in reality, you act the same way everybody else does to me. You posture in public, but in private, you want my approval because you get at my audience, okay? It's the same way every other grifty weasel fuck like you operates. You're really nice in private because it might get you more conversations with me. And you're getting what you want right now, too, by the way. This is exactly what I want
because everybody got, I lost
because I'm getting owned epically right now?
I mean, I don't care if you think you're getting owned epically.
Okay, so again, it's a silly purity test. I've already said that. Obviously, I do think people should educate themselves on an issue before they talk about it, or like preface something with, "Hey, I haven't done a ton of research into this topic. Let's talk about it." But I mean, like, I think I mean, the things that like he's trying to throw at Vaush, I think like, oh, you're not super educated, or you just say stuff without thinking. I think I could apply to Mike when he says that Mark Gudgel is a center-right candidate. I think that's a ridiculous assertion. I think to say that you want to incentivize business to come here is not enough to say somebody's center-right when they also say they don't want to work with ICE, they want to destroy anti-homeless architecture, etc., right? That's not enough. So, I mean, like, I just... This just seems like, obviously, I mean, why am I doing this? Because I would like to eat, and this is how I make money. But also because I want to know, like, is stuff like this good or bad for the space? The obvious answer would be bad. For, like, it's toxic, it drives people away, people don't enjoy it, quote unquote, right? But then there's the other thing of people do actually enjoy the spectacle. Literally everyone's reacting to this. I'm reacting to it right now after everyone else react to it. It made them both look awful. But then again, I mean, it gave us a topic of discussion. I don't know. It's bad outcome. It's bad for outcomes, but good for content. But if it's good for content, is that good for the space, which then could be produced to good for outcomes because you drag more people into the space?
Or not?
I was asking you.
You
if you
just admitted you don't know shit about Omaha, and off the top of my head,
you're right. I don't follow Omaha politics.
Oh well, you had a thesis that my interest in Omaha and Nebraska is just based on my spite of destiny, and then I explained to you how you missed one of the most important congressional races, and then you decided to say it wasn't that important. But it actually was important.
I liked when I saw that clip on your stream.
Medicare for all done. We need more Congress members.
Of you going on Snipe's website and like looking at the issues that she believed in, and you like scrolled through it, and you were like, because like there wasn't as much there as you were looking for. Yeah, dude, I totally believe it wasn't just a spite measure.
I am actually a socialist as opposed to someone who just postures like one online.
Wait, what did that have to do with you being actually a socialist? Looking through like a list and be like, wait, what does that have to do?
Policies aren't that great. I don't go around saying I'm an anarcho-Bidenist.
But you donated to her. Fascinating. You donated to her at the exact same time that Destiny got dropped by the Mark Gudgel campaign. Yeah.
She's a good candidate because
it's a coincidence. I know.
Eastman. She has the support of labor unions, stuff that I look for, and then she talked about policies that are very important to me, like civilian review boards.
Okay, so look, so the thing is, Mike right here is talking about, like, I support this candidate because they're endorsed by unions, they're endorsed by a person I respect, and they care about the issues I care about, right? So, how, again, I would like to bring it back to this. If Mark Gudgel had a very detailed policy, a list of policies on his site, more detailed than hers, apparently, number one, that would be a reason why I'd want to support him. He has detailed policy proposals, and he supports things that I support, like literally tearing down anti-homeless architecture. Making it easier for bike lanes and bike communities and public transport in the area. No, stopping all working with ICE, period, and making Omaha a sanctuary city. These are issues I care about. Not to mention, I would like more people involved in politics who care about foreign policy, and he is somebody who actually cares about historical crimes like genocide quite a lot. But that's a far-right candidate because he wants to incentivize big businesses to come there because there's a huge brain drain and an economic caving in of Omaha. Again, the standards that are being put up in this debate is absolutely absurd. Debate. I mean, even calling this a debate is probably wrong. It's more just like two meatheads colliding into each other.
Openly supporting Black Lives Matter, which I know you don't because you love Destiny saying that they should mow down dipshit protesters.
Wait, wait, hold on. You're doing it again. You realize that we had an argument over that so severe that it led to him being departnered from Twitch and part of the fallout, and his community still hates me for it, and my community still hates him for it.
And when I laughed about his departnering and said he deserved it because...
Wait, the bridge literally... You're saying that I liked his position on X, but the bridge...
Wait, I just lied and said he called him a far-right candidate. Oh, sorry. Okay, you're right. He didn't say far-right. He said center-right. You're right there. I mixed it up. He said center-right. He's still not center-right. He is not center-right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he would be progressive for my community, and I live in a blue state, okay? He'd be progressive for my state.
Was burned over X. Do you think about the things you say? Maybe you should learn more and talk less, Mike. Misspoke. You misthought, Mike, which is basically the history of your entire presence online.
So this is your attempt at a dunk, but yet you've had
you just said something that was wrong.
Nothing of substance from anything you said in this conversation.
You just confidently lied.
Everybody knows it, Vaush. Nothing of substance comes out of your mouth.
If you actually
came in here and postured and tried to threaten me, and I laughed in your fucking fat face.
Threaten you? Oh, my fat face.
A jog around your apartment building would knock you out. I would push you over with a feather.
What do you... Wait.
Jog around your apartment...
Threaten
and I laughed in your fucking fat face.
Threaten you? Oh, my fat face.
Jog around your apartment building would knock you out. I would push you over with a feather.
What do you... Wait.
So is he just like fat shaming him? He's just calling him fat? This is what this is resorted to? Mike did say he regretted making those jokes for the record. Yeah, he went really elaborate with it. He didn't just call him fat. He called him like fat-faced, and then made a whole story about him walking or jogging around his apartment block and then getting knocked over by a feather. It was like multiple. He kept stacking it, you know? he was like, okay, called him fat. How do I re-emphasize he's fat? Exercise. Okay, throw exercise at him. But what happens with exercise? Fat people don't do good with exercise. Okay, so you get knocked out. But getting knocked out isn't enough from just him exercising. He gets knocked out by something extremely small. What's something extremely small? A feather. He gets knocked out by a feather. He's just like, boom, 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 boom. He like really dug in his heels on that one during this.
Unironically, what are you talking about right now?
Do you have a bad
Wait,
memory?
how did I threaten you? What?
You literally said, "Where do you live? I'm gonna come and get you."
I said you were being weird about sexual harassment, and then I said, "Where are you at? Maybe we could come over." Like it was like a joke, like a flirty. But you were the one who unironically talked about being able to beat me up. Are you trying to like do the?
So they leaked the DMs, right? Does anybody have the DMs so we can check that link? There has to be an image of it somewhere, right?
Keyboard warrior reverse psychology.
Obviously, Vaush insulted him too. Well, yeah, Vaush opened this up by saying he was, what was it he called him? It wasn't like a subpar human being. What was it? He called him a, it was like a, not worthwhile human being. Not a worthwhile person, okay? If you open up a discussion saying you're not a worthwhile person, like, you're going straight in with a low blow, okay? So, yeah, I'm not saying Vaush is clear of any blame here. This is just a train wreck all around.
On me?
What? No,
You just did it. You postured again. Wait, how tall are you?
He did that because because Mike spent an entire stream the day before calling him a rant, fucking talking about his dick. I'd have to check out the stream. I think I saw some of it, but still, like, yeah, but we can't be surprised when it, like, devolves into this when you open up with not a worthwhile person, right? Still. This combo was summed up by Vaush baiting Mike and Mike falling for it. Mike called Vaush a fucker first. When he said that on a separate stream, he called him that, and that's why Vaush opened like that.
You? How much do you weigh? I actually want to get the stats down. Hold on. Can we get like a height comparison? You looked about 6, 7 inches short.
Doing your mom. Lucifer's banned, okay? He's banned for further notice, okay? I'm very upset at you, Lucifer. I'm very upset at you, you son of a... I can't believe I believe that. I can't... You... Okay, you got that one.
Shorter than Bad Bunny in that clip. Let me see if I can
oh my god! Wait, wait, what do you think that clip was? Since you're holding on to it,
embarrassing?
Like Destiny's Beauty.
I don't know.
What was it?
Wait, how tall are you?
How?
Wait, you want to fight me? I just want to get the stats down. Come on. What are the?
I'm 1 inch taller than Destiny, which should be enough for you, right? That'll make you more servile.
Well, I don't even.
Wait, Mike. Wait, how tall is Destiny? Stephen Bonnell height. Okay, so 5'8", so Mike is 5'9", and I'm 5'10". I shall lead the pack.
I know how tall Destiny is. It ranges from 5'2" to 5'7", depending on who's talking. So wait, are you like 5'3"? Are you 5'8"?
Holy fucking shit, dude! Listen to yourself.
Oh wait, you're the one who talked about fighting me. I'm just trying to get the stats down. Wait, how much do you weigh?
Listen to yourself.
What weight class are you in? Hold on. Boxing weight classes. I actually don't know. I never paid attention to professional boxing.
Well, I think you're a super heavyweight, no matter what it is.
I'm
there. Okay, right back to fat jokes. Okay, so well, Vaush would be, if it's professional boxing. Mike, he would not be a super heavyweight because in professional boxing, that is not a thing. That is only a thing in amateur boxing and the Olympics. Mike, he would just be a heavyweight. Inaccurate, uninformed boxing, Mike. Don't step into the sport unless you know what you're talking about, okay? Don't get into my sport unless you know the details, okay? For the record, I boxed as a welter.
I might be. Hold on. Let's see. Super feather. No, wait. Hold on. No, super heavyweight isn't a boxing category. It's just heavyweight, which is over 200 pounds. Which, yeah, I'm over 200 pounds.
Yeah. So, you know, People typically say super heavyweight when someone is like much more than the minimum.
No, that's not what Mike. No, that's not what boxing is. Okay, super heavyweight is an actual class in amateur boxing. It's not like if you get big enough in boxing, they bring you to the secret arena where they have all the big boys fight. Okay, that's not like a secret category. Okay, that's not like a back alley boxing thing.
It's just really odd to me that you're like obsessed with like making fat jokes when you look the way you do. It's very interesting to me that that's the road that you would go down.
No, I mean, went down physical. You went to the physicality place because you have nothing of substance to say about my politics.
Wait, how did I go to the physicality place? You realize you jumped.
How'd you fought Welter, 5'10" in Welter division, bro? You wrecked them. I was actually I'm a wide individual. Like dock worker type, I guess, wide. And yeah, my problem was I wasn't fast. I hit hard and I could take a punch. I just was really slow, and that was always my problem in boxing. I want to get back into it. I just, obviously with my whole situation, it's kind of difficult, and I got to find a gym that's in like biking or public transportation distance.
Jumped in that first, right?
Absolutely not.
You said, guys, am I misremembering?
You said rat-faced. You said I cringed with Bad Bunny. Then when I asked you what was going on, you just said embarrassing because you have nothing. You're posturing for your audience.
Wait, I'm seeing with chat right now. Wait, who started that? The bussy comment was definitely first. Yeah, you were making comments about my dick. You were saying I was dickless first. That's like body shaming, right? Yeah, you started it for sure.
Actually, wait. Okay, Val.
Wait. Did you not? Yeah, you definitely did.
Fucking fuck, dude. This is your content, man.
Well, yeah, bringing dumb fucks on and making fun of them.
Not covering Kara Eastman.
Thank you so much.
Very important Medicare for all race. But talking about whether or not someone was body.
Again, it's one race. Okay, look, I could have been like, Mike, what do you know about Jill Carter? You don't know who Jill Carter is? Jill Carter ran to replace Elijah Cummings' seat. Elijah Cummings was a civil rights hero. And Jill Carter fought against lead paint and for civil rights legislation in the state. She's been leading the charge of police reform in Maryland. And you don't know who Jill Carter is? And you say you care about civil rights. For shame. For shame.
Body shaming you or not? When you called them rat-faced, you're a little.
Watch out!
God, really? Okay, this is stupid. Every single thing they do just makes this worse and worse. Okay. I remember Tree of Logic did this to me. She found the most unappealing photo of me possible and posted it. She was taking photos. She found photos of me next to politicians too, and posted that in her big wide dossier of me when she was like trying to prove how evil I was. It's not fun to have people just use the most unflattering photo possible. But this doesn't make Mike look too bad. It's just, it looks like a law student, right?
When you go to Pennsylvania, this motherfucker might roll up, deck you out.
Man, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to beat you up, Vaush.
Dude, you brought it up like 3 times.
The way that traveled, it looked like Mike was laughing at his joke, but it like didn't feel like an ingenuine laugh. That actually felt like the most genuine laugh I've ever heard. I've heard the entire conversation, which made it feel even weirder. This is bizarre, man.
Ready to talk substance yet?
Why would you keyboard warrior me and then complain that I'm making fun of you for it? What kind of beta shit is that? Just own the fact that you're like cringe soy-faced dude who postures online and pretends to be an alpha male.
What?
Vaush is too big for Mike.
Alpha males aren't real, Vaush.
You literally brag about being an alpha male for shouting over people.
Real, dude. What is with your brain?
That's my argument, Mike. Do you get it?
That's my argument, dummy.
Damn. Why would you say that about
By the
yourself?
way, we're both Sigma males, not alphas. Get it right.
Hey, don't fucking appropriate my culture, okay? I'm a Sigma male, all right? You're an Omega male.
Well, that's right. Tacoma wept. I'm sorry, I didn't want to.
Goddamn right they did. There was a fucking op-ed in that shit.
The one thing you're good about.
They put my dick in the obituary in Tacoma, okay? Because that shit was dead to them. Yeah, okay. It's rough out here in COVID-19.
I have a question for you. Is this the conversation you want to have in your content?
I don't know what
I'm sorry, wait. If I wanted to have a conversation about politics, I would not bring on known genius Mike from PA to have that conversation.
What was it? Well, okay, then you should have an easy time telling me all the bad takes I've had.
Wait, that wasn't my criticism of you when I was going over your thing.
I can actually, if we want to do constructive criticism of Mike from PA, right? Because it seems like if he genuinely wants it, right? Which I'm trying to be diplomatic here. What's some genuine criticisms for like things he could better himself on? I think that I think the center-right designation for Mark Gudgel was possibly motivated by his feeling towards Destiny, and you shouldn't be so quick to just throw somebody into categories unfavorable with a platform, when you have a platform, into categories that your community won't like because of their association with other people you don't like. You sometimes have to overlook your personal grievances with people in order to get around somebody you like. There's a lot of people who I didn't agree with what they had to say on the Bernie campaign when I was canvassing in South Carolina. But I sucked it up and did it because, it was the most important thing. And there was a lot of people on other campaigns that I didn't like, but I saw the candidates as more progressive as some of the worst options. So I kind of bit my tongue in order to, try to get to the best conclusion. And I think sometimes you need to, if you are going to make criticisms, you should do it earnestly and not with just just names like center right, definitely when it doesn't apply. There would be one. A second thing I would say is, I think there was this one instance where Mike practiced what I would consider like a form of ageism towards young people getting involved in politics. There was this person called Xavier, or they made some tier list or something, where they did something he didn't like. And he could have kept it in the lane of I don't like it. But then was like, I will pay this person $50 if they prove to me they're above the age of 25. Which meant to me, their opinion's worth less because they're younger than you. Which as a 20-year-old, just turned 20, was 19, who's deeply involved in politics, more deeply involved in politics than the vast majority of people on political Twitch. That felt pretty weird. Definitely when young people are probably one of our strongest left-wing bases, we should be encouraging them to get involved in politics and not devaluing their opinions because of their age. How many people are like, oh, you're so young, maybe someday you'll understand? A lot. I remember once somebody telling me, after I managed a successful mayoral campaign, telling me that well, I'm a teacher, so I know how people like you are. You don't really care about responsibility. This was after I left a meeting early because I talked about because I went to a city hall meeting and organized people to speak on a certain meeting about changing the city charter to make it easier for young people to participate in politics. Then those people left because they came in from all across the state and they had families to go home to. And this person was angry that I didn't make them stay for the local hearing on a field of grass. And I'm sorry that somebody from a different city doesn't care about our city's random field of grass. I'm not going to get them to stay for the whole thing. They got to go home to their families. So the next meeting I saw them, I'm trying to shake their hands hey, maybe we can work together on this issue. And they're like, well, I'm a teacher and I know it was so disrespectful. That was unbelievably. And I'm like, some of those family had dinner they needed to put on the table. Dinner. They had to go home and do that. I can't organize them around that forever. And then the next meeting I go to, I see them get up there, speak on the issue they care about, and then go home, do the exact same thing they were criticizing me for. The exact same thing. So yeah, you'll see that a lot. They just don't like you, and they need a reason not to like you because you disagree with them, and so they'll just grab your age and use it as a little baton against you, It happens, and it's something that really angers me, because one of the things that I really, for instance, recently, Mel, and we all know which Mel I'm talking about, right, said something on a public Discord about me, I disagreed with her take on something that I found what she did that had to do with a cop who ended their own life, and she kind of celebrated. To be fair, I want to say she has apologized for this since then, but she made fun of a cop who killed themselves. There was nothing wrong with the cop's record as far as we know. It was just a cop who fought with depression and ended up ending their own life. And she mocked it. And I said that was really gross. And she was like, oh, Dylan canceled me? Well, Dylan's just a dumb 19-year-old who thinks peace is a real solution, Lamau. right? And that really pissed me off because we had a lot of one-to-one conversations, me and Mel, and she would always tell me how much she cared about even though I disagree with her on basically everything, she told me how much she cared about my opinion, but immediately when it became a bit convenient, you could take out the old card, I'm older than you. And now I'm like 20, so I guess it'll be more difficult for them to do it, but I know they're still going to do it when they can. And so that is like something that I know how much that's discouraged me from getting involved in politics, because I've actually had physical barriers in front of me when I tried to get involved. I wanted to run for city council, and when I was 18, I was legally allowed to according to city law, but there was provisions in the city charter that said that I needed to be registered to vote 1 year before election day, but I got registered to vote when I was 18, just like everybody else. So this problem didn't apply to everybody else who got registered to vote when they turned 18, like most people, but it did apply to me. So I needed to be registered to vote 1 year before I was even eligible to vote. So that stopped me from running. And that was an institutional barrier that every single person on the city council agreed was wrong, but they could not change for me to run for city council. And I had to change it for the next election. Not because it would apply to me, because 2 years from then, when I'm 20, which I am now, I'd be able to run for city council. But to make sure other young people don't have to run into that institutional barrier. And seeing it institutionally, seeing it socially, and even seeing it with people who's supposed to be on my side, not Mel, because Mel, again, I would say is so different than me, because with her like pretty, in my opinion, extremist views, is so far off to the side than me. But with Mike, like it's discouraging to see that. And so that if he wants like legitimate criticism, those are legitimate criticisms I could give of Mike that I think he could change his behavior around those two things. That would make him a better content creator and a better like voice on the left. And I don't mean that in like an aggressive, mean manner. I mean that as something I legitimately think he could change to better himself and better his streaming. I know a lot of you really don't like Mike, but I'm going to try my best, okay? I'm going to do my best to better the Twitch sphere, whatever, okay? Darth Rick, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming sub. I appreciate it.
Brain genius. Oh, wait.
Wait, that wasn't the criticism that I left.
One thing. You gotta have one thing, right?
No, I did. Wait, did you watch part of my stream? I was actually pretty specific in my issues with you. The issue is, I actually agree with most of the political prescriptions that you make. I mean,
you just think I'm bad at it.
No.
Which is purely subjective.
No, I didn't say that either. Well, there's an element of subjectivity.
And by the way, when I went
on,
see, the thing is, when I went on,
the only winner here is Destiny, by the way. In this conversation,
when we got on Hippie Dippy with you, you didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, because I was generally pretty fine. I think you did great in the Hippie Dippy. Yeah.
Talk about Hippie Dippy.
Okay, so I'm not cringing that one.
No, that is correct. You were
Hippy Dippy echoes throughout time. Zonia, thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate it.
Not cringe in that one.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know why you're like saying this like some own. I'm not a dogmatist.
Well, the point is like you're literally just throwing out worthless rhetoric that is not based in reality.
Okay. So anyway, the actual criticisms that I levied, it wasn't that your political prescriptions are super bad, because I'm a socialist and I'm going to agree with most of what you say.
Except minimum wage or rent control. Those you're kind of iffy on.
Oh, sorry. Wait, hold on. I unplugged.
Archie on Zero, thanks so much for Prime Gaming.
What's your position on minimum wage?
A curd is a curd.
I think you said something to the effect.
I remember talking to a lot of like city council members about rent control. I remember it was election season, and I was like literally election day, and I was running around asking every single one their position on rent control, because we passed rent control in our city, but then it was basically lobbied away by local landlords, and it was pretty watered down. It was like rent control, but it was tied to market rates. But if it's rent control tied to market rates, there's not a lot of stuff that's objectable there. It's quite literally exists only to stop price gouging. And that would be a form of rent control I'd be pretty okay with, because I don't think it's going to highly disincentivize people actually investing in rental apartments. Hey, some guy Tyler, thanks for the 5 gifted, buddy. Look, we're getting a lot of gifted in chat today. We're getting a lot of subs and support and a lot of Prime Gamings, and I really appreciate it, everybody.
That a $25 minimum wage was economically illiterate and would destroy the economy. Which
okay,
is
yeah,
just
okay, yes. Well, never wait. We don't have to talk about it. Yes, that is. Thank you for summarizing my correct position.
Okay. So you believe that's true, that a $25 minimum wage would destroy the U.S. economy?
I would have to lay so much groundwork to explain to you how we can't just do a $25 an hour minimum wage. I want it in the future.
I am much more read on the literature than you are on minimum wage.
I'm a big $15 minimum wage guy. I was in the General Assembly in Maryland when the $15 minimum wage was getting passed. I remember talking to State Senator Cory McCray about it, who was the person who sponsored it in the Senate. I talked to Senator Ronald Young, and I kind of grew a personal bond with him over the issue when it came to my mother and her working in the restaurant industry. And I saw it pass. I wish it was tied to inflation or median wage. It didn't. It was watered down, and I think it was over too long of a period of time, but I'm happy we got it, at least. I know there's downsides to the $15 minimum wage, but I think if you implement it on a sliding scale to eventually be implemented, like each year you slowly raise how much you have to pay as a minimum, then I think it's a net benefit to the economy by getting more money in the pockets of people who then go spend it, and then that spending and the increase of spending power then reverberates in the economy. It's like Keynesian economics.
I'll keep that in mind. But can we focus on the thing that I actually... So the actual criticism that I have of you...
I'm waiting for you to have the criticism.
Well, you keep interrupting. The point is, it's not about the positions. It's the fact that you're...
Wait, did he ask for a $25? Wait, did he ask 25?
I want it in the future to explain to you how we can't just do a $25 an hour.
Oh, it was a $25 minimum wage. I thought he was talking 15. Yeah, I have not been sold on 25. I mean, maybe if somebody sold me on it, but I mean, what would the fade-in period be? And 25 across the board? So $25 minimum wage in West Virginia? Today? $25 minimum wage in West Virginia today, even fade-in period. I just don't see how. I think the majority of people in West Virginia would lose their jobs. Maybe. I mean, like, I haven't even thought about this, so I haven't done the math, but I don't know many people in West Virginia who make 25 an hour. I think the person I know in West Virginia that makes the most money is like 22. I don't know, it just... Yeah, I mean,
our minimum wage. I want it in the future.
Because the thing is, minimum wage across the board, national, is going to be a level is a national minimum wage. This isn't a state minimum wage. Meaning this is something that's going to go across the whole board. Meaning West Virginia and California would both have to, at minimum, be 25. But West Virginia? You have to think about the natural price point of labor in the area. What is the natural price point of labor, West Virginia? West Virginia wage average. We have I can't spell. The annual pay of employees in West Virginia in 2019, the annual pay of an employee in West Virginia totaled to about $46,616, which would be, if I do, let me get the calculator out quick. Mana. So let's say you're working median, okay. Wage median. Median hourly wage 16, mean 20. Wow, so the majority of people in West Virginia don't make 25 an hour. And so we'd be raising the majority of people in West Virginia's wages up to 25 an hour. And some increasing it by $10. And that's not even talking about the people who are working under these limits. Yeah, no, that'd be an extremely radical proposal for people like for states like West Virginia. And a national minimum wage would apply to West Virginia the same way it applies to California. So, no, that would be an extreme overhaul. Yeah, I mean, that makes me think it would be next to impossible to employ a ton of people in West Virginia.
Much more read on the literature than you are on minimum wage.
I'll keep that in mind. But can we focus on the thing that I actually... So the actual criticism that I have of you...
I'm waiting for you to have the criticism.
Well, you keep interrupting. The point is, it's not about the positions. It's the fact that you're insecure and you posture constantly with everyone you talk to. You condescend. I mean, to put it lightly, and this sounds like frivolous, like kind of a weak criticism, but you're an asshole. Not in like the truth teller Rick Sanchez.
As opposed to you, you're a nice guy.
Well, actually, right? I generally think that I'm pretty good to people for the most part. In spite of my bad reputation, I do actually believe that.
You're saying you don't want to platform me because I'm an asshole?
No. Wait.
Fan for 10 years.
Wait, hold on.
What?
I didn't say I didn't want to.
More than me and more of an asshole than me.
Hold on.
And he's your parasocial daddy.
You keep jumping ahead. I didn't say I didn't want to platform you because you're an asshole. I platform assholes all the time. Okay, let's just move it through one point at a time. Okay, you're not like the Rick Sanchez truth teller kind of asshole. It's more like the I'm trying to think of an appropriate TV show character, like I don't know, just like a bad person, like you have hangups. That's my main thing. When I
have hangups, like
you're incredibly insecure and you posture masculinity all the time. That desperate like alpha male shtick that you try to pull off constantly is incredibly
cringy. This is
cringy.
fucking ironic. Did you actually think that I believe there's alpha males? Or that masculinity is important? Obviously, everybody who looks at me knows that. Why do you constantly
make comments about people being dickless or people not being a man if you didn't have those values internalized at least somewhat?
This is the thing. This is the thing from 15 months ago.
This is the thing that you do, by the way.
Man. What I meant was be an adult, stand up for what you believe.
Did it?
Don't be a weasel.
You did it just a couple of minutes ago.
It.
Didn't you just do it in this conversation?
God.
Wait, chat, was it from this
I didn't
convo,
realize
or
was
it
talking
from...
to somebody who is so...
you're going to do it again. You're going to do it again.
The tactical N-word guy. I didn't realize you were going to be so fragile about...
There it is. See? So what happens there is you have...
So Mike versus Vaush for the Hippy Dippy Championship. How does that sound?
Actually have a lot of really weird toxic masculinity built up in you, but when people call it out, you go, whoa, I'm a feminist. By the way, didn't realize you were such a pussy. It's actually a really good gaslighting tactic, but thankfully I'm not as stupid as your audience, so it's really, really obvious how hard you try to toe that line.
You know what, Vaush? You know what? Listen, you're right.
So that's the main reason.
No, you're right. We should work on not doing this kind of posturing, talking about weight classes and stuff like that. You're right. No, that's bad. That's bad. That's something you definitely don't do. Tacoma wept.
Hey, Kaya.
But
hi, you're interrupting a really intellectual discussion right now. It's like my mind is being grown a lot.
Okay, so what's this about?
It's two intellectual heavyweights.
Who?
Vaush and Mike from PA. Do you know who Mike from PA is?
No.
No? Do you know who Vaush is?
Yeah.
You do know who Vaush is, but you don't know who Mike from PA is.
Yeah.
Okay. They're two like. This is I think this is like next to like Noam Chomsky, like debated Hayek, like levels of like intellectual.
I don't know if you're messing with me. That's the thing.
These people like. Do you want to listen in to these people? Like, I mean, like I don't. It's pretty like high level dialogue. You want to listen? Okay. It's deep theory they're engaging in here.
But you're right. You know what? In the future,
you do know the joke in Tacoma Wept had nothing to do with like body shaming, right?
No, the joke was that you were so much of a lady killer that the moment you were off the meat market,
and boy and NB that include, please. It's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave anything out from your very your proclivities.
My undiscerning taste. Yes, of course.
Yeah. I think there was something else about like bestiality in there somewhere, right? With the anyway.
No, you're misremembering. It's that I have the virility of a stallion, and people ran with it. You know.
No, I thought you were sending the.
You'll be in your room.
Oh no! I said I leave my room to get a. Did you drink all the soda? Did you drink all?
I didn't drink. Other people.
So the soda's gone.
So
I came up here and was exposed to that nonsense for absolutely nothing. I don't even get a soda out of it. I'm sickened. In my own house. I'm sickened. I'm protesting. I don't like it here. I want soda. I came up here for soda and got bestiality.
Did you hear that? It came out here for soda, but got bestiality. Oh.
Watching something. Where's my phone?
Unsolicited bestiality pictures to people. Maybe I
Oh my
misremembering.
god.
Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely.
She's very disappointed in me.
I am disappointed. And I was gonna give you good news too. Now there's no good news for you.
What was the good news?
No, no good news.
Wow. Well, chat, you want to give me good news by starting a hype train?
No. Give an anti-hype train. I don't know what an anti-hype train would be, but do that for what he just did to me. That was very rude.
Misremembering that. Holy shit.
Somebody will have to go over the DMs again.
Yeah, that's a couple rungs removed from reality right there.
Someone will have to go to the DMs again. So, okay. So you think that I am too toxically masculine and insecure about that?
No. It's that toxic masculinity leads you to posture in a really weird and like aggressive way. And I think that because I know what's going to happen after this conversation, which should probably end soon because we were never going to talk politics. What's probably going to happen is that I'm only going to think of you when chat brings me up, but you're going to rail against me for the rest of your life. It'll be like one of the dying words in your lips as your family surrounds you in your hospital bed.
You're irrelevant to Twitch.
Kaya, but can you answer one question to me? You do know who Vaush is, but you don't know who Mike from PA is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if I do, it's just I also too much in watches really a lot online leftists, specifically white leftists, because it's
Okay, so you do know who Vaush is just from like his just general influence on like TikTok and other spaces, but you don't know who Mike from PA is.
if I do, like I said, if I do, it's like not putting in.
Okay.
I'm not putting it.
Well, okay, one second. Let me see if I can find their face.
Do you want the good news though?
Sure. Oh, dope.
That was a pregnancy reveal.
Don't. There was not a pregnancy reveal. Is this guy? Are you familiar with this man right here? This stream is kind of over it, but that guy right there.
I think he looks like the personified version of milk.
Okay, that's really mean, and we're not trying to bully him today, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. He just looks like milk.
It's not bully him. I'm trying to stay on his good side, okay?
Okay.
I'm trying to be nice. I tried to reach out yesterday.
Uh-huh. Oh, is that the guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait. Did you react to the thread differently than I did?
Wait. Hold on, because the thing is, you reached out to somebody and I remember they were being a butthole about it.
What do you mean they were being? I just read you the tweets. What do you mean they're being a butthole?
What tweets did you read me?
Like the thing about like, okay, let's go through the tweet thread, okay? I'm really not trying to bully him, but okay. To be the record, it's not me bullying him, okay, everybody?
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Let me see if I can find the Twitter thread.
Uh-huh.
Wait, this one. Hey, you good? I have a ton of things in my life, but you seem to be having stuff time to me. It was like a joke, right?
Yeah,
and
I
then
remember
like,
that.
I'm rolling in it. You have a good fund me. I can send a few bucks
yeah,
too.
I remember. Okay, so that's why his name sounded familiar, because you told me about this.
Yeah.
But I don't know about him.
So, do you have what's your perception of this interaction?
This perception. I mean, I don't know. I just was like, that's a weird thing to say. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you for your dialogue and input, Kaya. The stream has been very entertained, I can tell you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Damn.
You're a YouTube guy.
Once I figure out how Dill's streaming works, we'll get back in there. I like how you had to add to Twitch, by the way, which you, by the way, did not initially want to put in there. That was a quick save at the end, but you know, I'd say I have some relevance.
I think you're very good at. No, I want to compliment you. I think you're very good at branding and aesthetics.
I just.
Like, when it comes to Vaush on Twitch specifically, every time Vaush is streamed on Twitch, he's like pushed 2,000 viewers. So even, and that would be like, that's a good Mike stream, right? That's like that's Mike's normal streams from now on. Like, he gets about 2K. So on Twitch, they about hold the same amount. Off Twitch, Vaush is like dominant, like not even a question.
I'm just
and
a guy
you've definitely
in front
done
of
a good job. You've definitely done a good job with that.
Are you guys calling him Milk from PA now? Guys, stop. Don't do that.
Why are we not bullying?
Because we're not bullying. Because we're trying to reach out and be nice to him because he's getting a lot of crap right now. Because he had this debate with Vaush and it didn't go very well. Well, because you would have to watch the whole thing. So basically, like, they had the disagreement in DMs. He called like Vaush like a rat fuck or something, and then Vaush like said he was like not a worthwhile person, and then like Mike said like called him fat, and it just like went around a circle, and they kept assaulting each other. That was the conversation.
I'm still confused as to why calling him Milk is.
Okay, we're just trying to be nice to him.
There's much substance to what you have to say. I don't think you know very much. I think you're very insecure about that knowledge being exposed, which is really the reason why
what lack of knowledge?
They are both frightened to talk about issues and want to talk about me personally.
Wait, I
you want
talk
to do
about
an ad hom. You want to talk about. You want to bring up a clip that's not even like a.
That's not reaching. You were not doing that to reach. You DM someone a statement like that if you're reaching out. You were trying to trigger Mike by pretending to care about him. I was not trying to trigger Mike. I made a joke, okay? The joke is I am in a bad place in my life right now, and this conversation didn't do well for either of them. So the joke was like, man, I'm in a bad spot. Mike, but I mean, at least I'm not Mike, huh, Mike? It was just like a joke at both my and his expense, and then it turned into like a, hey, dude, if you need to vent legitimately, because he responded in a way like then it turned into an offer. Originally, it was not this long offer; it was just a joke. I'm sorry if it was super offensive. You are close to the Vaush. You didn't ask Vaush to vent because Vaush has a million other people to support him at the moment. And he's much bigger, and he wasn't getting ratioed as hard. I mean, why am I supposed to? Do I need to like go kumbaya with everybody? And it originally wasn't even a reach out moment. So you did it as a joke, or you didn't. No, it was originally it was a joke at both my and his expense, and then it turned out into like a request. Like, dude, you want to chill out tonight? Just talk about it. I was offering him to watch the rest. I was watching to watch AEW Revolution last night with him. Whatever. I don't need to prove myself. I'm fine.
Thing that has anything to do with me hitting on someone.
You brought up 4-year-old Discord drama, and Tacoma wept. You
started off. You started it off, dude, by playing that clip on your stream.
My excuse is, I can't make. Okay, I made because I didn't need to make a joke at Vaush's expense because Vaush was okay. Whatever. I don't need to. I already make him. Whatever. You know what? I'm not even gonna.
A little weak.
Look, I made a joke at both mine and his expense, and then it eventually turned out into like a, hey, you want to watch wrestling together? It wasn't this grand plan, okay? If it was originally going to be a request, I would have done it in DMs. If it was, but it turned into it slowly. Thanks for the tier 1 gifted, Beebs. Beeb is just talk. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Weasel rat. Don't try to pretend
because
like
it was because it was
started this
directly
conversation in good faith.
It was
like,
directly
Mike,
relevant.
You know what? We fired shots at each other, but
no,
here,
you opened by calling me dickless. I said like I think Mike was spiteful. You know, we shouldn't do that. And then you were like, Vaush is this.
You were literally still talking about his reaction. What about his reaction to? I don't even know what you're asking anymore. Okay.
Weaselly fuck. I mean, come on. We're talking well poisoning, all right? You've got way more empty buckets in
I
your
could just
hand.
say I wanted the dog pot. I just made a joke. Okay. If I made a joke at someone's expense, does that mean I hate and despise him in all manners? There's certain things about Mike from PA I think he's practiced bad contact, but do I need to hate somebody, make a joke at their expense? I've constantly made jokes at fucking Destiny's expense. Does that mean I despise Destiny? Does that mean I think Destiny's the worst person on the planet? No. I make fun of Destiny because of his league play. I made fun of Destiny because of Doug's thing. I've made fun of whatever. Okay, I don't. Whatever.
Like 10 fucking times, including playing.
I
Every
have
single
been
Destiny
exceptionally
attack.
kind to you. If I had been, by the way, if I had been entirely forthcoming, I wouldn't have even pretended from the onset because, and this, by the way, this could be my fault. I genuinely do think that everyone should be given the opportunity to disappoint me personally. So the fact that you responded to the criticism that I levied in my video, which was, again, very, very light. I think it was pretty polite, you know, well-meaning, by raging at me for 12 minutes, calling me a dickless Weasley fuck, and then lying and saying that spite wasn't the reason why you donated $250 to a random opposition candidate in a city in Nebraska. I mean, okay.
You keep saying random when I just explained it.
You've been given a chance to disappoint me, Mike.
Time. Oh, man. Gosh, everyone's weeping, disappointing Vaush. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Here's the thing, dude. Like, you have
isolated
yourself. You've isolated from yourself from people that aren't sycophants. You're creating something similar to your parasocial daddy. I tried, because, you know, I have actual bridges. You don't. And you are a bigger creator on YouTube. Congratulations. You have that community.
It's really not about a size thing to me.
That you decided to adopt the same enemies as Destiny, when the motherfucker will deplatform you the moment he can. And I think that's sad.
If you think that I have adopted the same enemies as Destiny, then you clearly do not know the people I associate with.
In our DMs, when you attacked Atlanta DSA and said that they were the reason the American socialist left is failing because they called Destiny a fascist.
No, they called him a Nazi.
Okay, they called him a Nazi.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty bad tendency. Now, I don't mind it that much if it's a content creator.
When you say that white redneck, you give your blood. Excuse me, I don't want to misquote.
Do you think I defend any? Wait, hold on. Do you think I defend anything that Destiny said?
Then why were you rushing to attack Atlanta DSA, dude?
Because I don't think
Atlanta DSA?
Because he isn't a
Destiny who platforms Nazi. Okay, Alpha. When you say Destiny platforms Nazis, you got to tell me, does he just platform them like, okay, tell everybody why it's good to be a Nazi, or does he like debate Eric Stryker in like a tag team with Vaush, right? There's like a difference there, right? Because if you use that logic, right, you could say that like NBC News just when they hosted the Democratic debates were just giving Trump a platform, and without giving like the wider thing to like, well, what's the context? Was their views challenged? There's a wider question about responsible platforming, right? For example, if I bring somebody on a show who's like, Assad is cool, and then you could easily say, Dylan platformed authoritarian supporting Assad lovers, people Assad who bomb civilians. Like, if you look at the statistics for how many people Assad has killed in civilian bombing campaigns, from like, it's horrific. Or a million other Assads, like the barrel bombs, the torture, any of it. But then you add the context of he then debated them and told them they were wrong in front of an audience. That's different. Destiny has a massive hand in boosting Nick Fuentes, who just got a couple of... Destiny doesn't have a massive hand in boosting Nick Fuentes. I think he debated Nick Fuentes twice. I think that would be an exaggeration to say it was Destiny who did that. Nick Fuentes was on the rise, whether or not Nick Fuentes was on the rise before Destiny interacted with him.
Nazi, and he's not.
So what? When he called me a tanky, where were you? You didn't rush to say, "Oh, you know, Mike, I don't like him, but he's not a tanky." Destiny.
Wait. So first of all, I'm not responsible. Wait. First of all, I'm not Destiny's dad. I don't know why you're impugning me for his.
And wait. Did Destiny platform, wasn't it not even on his thing? It was on somebody else's podcast. It wasn't even Destiny's podcast. Destiny told Trainwrecks it was okay to bring Nick Fuentes on a 50,000 viewer debate and that got destroyed by him. Okay, I know the second part's incorrect because I saw that interaction and Nick Fuentes came off terrible there, number one. Number two, I don't know if he said that behind closed doors. I mean, again, debating somebody... VIP, so it's easy to see my messages. Also mod me. How about no? Okay, look, Destiny. I'd have to check that. Did he tell him to say that? And again, platforming responsibly is extremely complicated. It's not as simple as he had bad person on show, therefore evil. It's not that simple.
Behavior. First of all, he called.
By the way, if you want to be a mod in my community, there should be a Google form somewhere. 1 second. Let me see if I can go to find the Google Doc mod, so I can send it over to you guys. Mod application forms. Everybody, if you want to be a mod in my community, here it is. Fill this out. I'm about to go through these applications, and you can be a mod in either my Discord or, you know, my or my Twitch chat. And if you want to go into my Discord, there's my Discord link, okay? Let's get back to this. I'm sorry, I'm boring you all to death.
I called you a tanky that whole engagement when I was barely a content creator. Second of all, it's really fucking weird that to counter an argument that I'm making today, you would bring up an argument somebody else made a year ago. Second of all, or third of all, I don't even remember enough.
You're involving yourself in Destiny's personal squabbles. Why do you care?
Just Destiny.
Why do you care,
Because
dude?
I also get called a Nazi by the types of people.
What does Destiny have to do with you?
I'm trying
You're
to
not
explain
connected.
it. I'm trying to
You're
explain
not
it to you.
connected,
I'm trying to explain it to you.
He's not your dad.
Are we
He's
good?
not you. You're not connected.
So
I'm just trying to break your parasocial
I'll try to.
attachment.
You are the one who
you.
keeps. You realize you're the one who keeps bringing him up in this conversation. Almost every time he's been brought up, it's been you. I'm not the one with him on my mind. Okay.
You brought him up because you commented on me responding to him. You got involved in this and said that I spit on lefties who do things for spite. By the way, Mike from PA donated to this candidate. I'll talk about her later. Oh, I didn't talk about her, actually.
Wait, I did, though.
I didn't look into any reason why someone might support her other than Spite. If she was a really bad candidate,
you
I wouldn't
keep trying to sell this fantasy that Spite wasn't involved. I don't care. I get it. You're not backing off that point. I'm going to try to finish this. I'm going to try to finish this point. Okay. So I don't mind it that much if content creators call Destiny a Nazi, because content creators, as we should both know, are frivolous dipshits. Me and you included. We are all spicy internet drama lords, okay? But the DSA is supposed to be an organization. It's supposed to be something with a little bit more reputability.
What would you... Okay, so
wait, I'm almost done. This doesn't even end in an insult to you.
How about we just... organizing experience so you can tell me why you are...
What does that have to do with the point I am trying to make?
Nothing. Okay, go on.
Yeah, okay, so hold on. So, I think that organization should be held to a slightly higher standard.
If we use this definition of like, well, what's your history in organizing? None. Why am I listening to you? Goodbye. Well, then let's see. Who are the 3 people on like Twitch who can talk politics then? Me, Mike, possibly Destiny if you include Georgia and Omaha. Well, damn. We got the market on lock. We're good. I'm good, fine. You know what? If that's the standard, I'm fine with that standard. I'd love to be one of the 3 people on Twitch that can talk politics as we get Hassan to stop talking about it forever and they have to flood downstream to me. I'd love that. I would love that. That'd be great for me. I vote in favor. I say aye.
And also, in my personal experience, I get called a Nazi by a lot of people in the online left, usually because they have a very inaccurate...
Have I called you a Nazi?
No, and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So
why do you keep jumping in with like, hold on?
You just said it was bad to bring up other people's arguments that have nothing to do with us.
I'm specifically talking about other people on the left. You can listen to the...
Well, they are bringing up arguments about specifically the DSA chapter that called Destiny a Nazi, so this seems relevant. I don't think this is irrelevant to the conversation whatsoever.
Words, please. I'm arranging them in an order for a purpose.
Go ahead.
I get called a Nazi by other people online. Usually it's because they make very frivolous, very poor faith accusations based on minimal evidence. And the fact of the matter is, and I know this, and I can talk about
that. So you would say that was minimal evidence when they did about Destiny?
I don't think anybody with even a passing...
What if this spreads? What if it just spreads everywhere and everybody just calling Mike from PA milk from PA? If that's let's kill this here, okay? Let's burn it out. Let's take a cigarette, just psst, right there, okay? Let's stop it here.
Familiarity with Destiny's content could...
$10. Hi, I love you. Love from Kansas.
Aw, I love you too, buddy. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate it. I don't really love him. I just love his money. But thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it.
accurately and fairly call him a Nazi. You could call him a lot of negative things, which I think would be fair, but I do not think you could call him a Nazi.
Okay, if you saw a video of someone,
can we kindly...
and you Google them and you find out they got banned from Twitch for 30 days for using the F slur. The other big drama they were in is they got departnered for arguing that they gave their blessing to white redneck militias to mow down dipshit protesters.
And what if people
Do you think it's crazy to say that's Nazi-like?
And what if people found clips of me? There are plenty of clips online which paint a very inaccurate picture of my beliefs that might lead those same types of lefties
why do you feel
to accuse
the need
me
to be
of being
involved
a Nazi.
in
I am desperately trying. I feel like I'm explaining like
you
something
still
to a
haven't
kid.
Connected it.
I can't.
Look, I mean, I understand Vaush is doing this for the sake of argument, bringing up his past with his comments probably with Israel and how that could make him look bad. Personally, I would take every opportunity to never bring up the fact I said that ever again. Because that was a particularly gross comment, in my opinion. But I mean, yeah, I guess it applies here. Like, hey, if people... I just find it... Yeah, the thing is, I understand logically where the point he's trying to make, Vaush, here. But when you think of it from like a PR perspective, like saying, excuse me, I understand that you could maybe say that looks Nazi-like from his perspective, but what if people use the clip of me saying, talking about the nuclear eradication of the state of Israel? Well, that some people could use that to make me look like a Nazi. That doesn't make you look good, I gotta be honest. It just, then they could just say, you know what, that's a good point. It doesn't really end well. Dump Truck, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. I disavow. I also disavow. I disavow Vaush. I disavow Mike from PA. I disavow Destiny. I disavow Kaya. I disavow everyone. Why did I disavow you?
Why did you put me?
Why did stream can't hear it? The mic's this way, so I'm good. No, you're not supposed to come up.
Why did you put me in a category of a bunch of white men?
What? Well, it's because my categories are not divided on race. They're just divided on disavowedness.
V1 shish $10 more money. Also, my political science teacher is bringing in a local state senator to talk about the state government.
The soda stealer.
She's a Republican, but I think she's more moderate. Hopefully I get some good conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for the $10. And you know what? Even if they're Republican, obviously you should ask them about their policies. But ask them how to get involved in local politics. See what that perspective might be from a Republican perspective. I always talk about it from a Democratic perspective, how to get involved in local politics. Republicans will go about it the same ways in a lot of respects, but some ways in different ways. So ask them how to get involved in local politics. They might give you some interesting tips that I haven't given you. What were you going to say?
Why'd you disavow me?
I disavowed you because, let me think, what's something bad you did? Let me think. What's something bad you have done? Oh, because you bullied a streamer online. You were cyberbullying him. You called him milk.
Okay.
Should I be a pro bully? Don't knock over the vase.
I didn't knock it over. It got caught in my hair.
That was a Mike from PA fan.
Yeah, you're interrupting me every 10 seconds, Mike. You're trying alpha Mike posturing right now. Let me finish the point.
Okay. Hold on. I'll get a stopwatch.
It is true that
it is International Women's Day. That is right, chat. Yes. Mansplaining on International Women's Day. Well, I'm not mansplaining because it's not a position. She wanted to know. They wanted to know.
Clip of Destiny looks, and is very bad. There are also clips of mine that look and are very bad. But if you look at the totality of my content, I don't think anyone could reasonably call me a Nazi. I am opposed to organizations like the DSA making snap calls like that based on clips like those, because I know how information like that can be cultivated to paint an inaccurate picture of a content creator, which is why I can simultaneously believe that Destiny is bad on a lot of issues, but also that he should be treated in good faith on those issues. Because if he isn't, I set the precedent that I also will not be, and I deal with the consequences of that every day. Does that make sense?
So you consider yourself the personal arbiter of, quote, bad faith towards creators, and you just going around, you're not biased at all from your fandom of Destiny.
You are. When did I say that I'm not biased? When did I say that I am the personal arbiter? I have an opinion and I share it on my platform.
You said that socialist organizations should be held to a higher standard, and then you intervened when Destiny's community was piling onto a small...
You're arguing against sharing opinions right now. You realize that, right? You're arguing against the concept of sharing opinions.
Someone who calls themselves a socialist should jump in when Destiny said that the Atlanta DSA doesn't do real organizing. They're a bunch of white college
I have never
workers.
defended Destiny's idiotic position on that.
Then he sent a whole bunch of a hate mob after these people, which are small little socialists in Atlanta. First of all,
I think that you're overstating that somewhat. And second of all, this is utterly irrelevant to what I'm saying. I don't think the DSA should have called him a Nazi.
That's the context of you jumping in with your community and blasting them. And then further, you said,
I'm sorry, is there any evidence that my community harassed them?
When a content creator shits on a group and says they're the reason why socialists in America can't succeed.
Yeah, I do think that's a component
they don't
of it.
like Destiny.
No, that's not what I said. I think one of the reasons... No, I didn't say that. Mike, see, this is what I mean. Are you being stupid right now? Or are you so attached to posturing that you can't actually hear the words that I'm saying?
I'm listening to what you're saying. You
aren't listening. You aren't...
No, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. You're really stupid. You're the stupid one. Man, look, we have developed the top tier of we are the highest point of technological evolution in the history of mankind. And this is what it's led to. It's led to Vaush and Mike calling each other stupid on the internet, interlaced with fat jokes and pop quizzes about failed congressional candidates, and disavowing of people's humanity. What was it? The thing the Vaush said about him right off the bat was unimportant, or I keep forgetting. It was what was it? Not worth an unworthwhile human, not a worthwhile person. Look, this is the natural evolution of Twitch politics. This is when the Twitch has overtaken the politics.
Smart enough to understand anything that I'm saying right now.
You say you're against posturing and then you just do it.
No, this isn't posturing.
Come on, man.
I invite anybody who's been watching the past 5 minutes where I try to make a very simple point and then Mike butts in with some 60 IQ interjection. Do you think that Mike is listening? Do you think that and if he is listening, that's a lot worse, by the way, because that means he's not smart enough to keep up. It's one of those two, and if I were you, I would choose not listening, okay?
Let me interrogate. Let me give you a
No, wait, hold on. It's every concept that needs to be explained to you. No, I'm not. Every concept that needs to be explained to you is minutes off my finite life, and it takes 10 times as long with you as it does with...
I actually watch wrestling, and you're trying to make me... Look, okay, I'm not saying that I am not against wrestling in some forms, okay? And I'm not saying that there isn't environments for this, but I think it needs to be interlaced with some politics, and... I mean, this has gotten people talking. There's positives and negatives to this, right? But this is, when it comes to wrestling, there's different types of wrestling, right? There's a clean, good, classic wrestling match. And then there's these backyard, glass bottle over the head, ram you into like a sheet of nails, right? Like a board full of nails through 7 tables, backyard, blood sport wrestling. And that stuff, in my opinion, is garbage. I really don't like that stuff. Sometimes it's done well, but most of the time it is garbage. And it's hard for me to know if this is just content gold or just the purest form of garbage. I'm on the teetering point where it's hard for me to know, because it is somewhat entertaining at least, but it's a frustrating entertaining. Like a car crash. Or like I don't know, like an anti-massacre video.
Any other human being who's capable
more finite by the minute
of driving a car autonomously. Okay. So I ask you, is there a final meme you want to run through?
I mean, so basically, this is exactly what I expected from you. posturing that's baseless, based on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You were exposed
baseless and based on nothing, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You said
serious.
that I was bad. I was bad because I was an asshole who does posturing. And then you did nothing but posturing when I asked you for one specific instance of my bad takes, because you said that on your stream, did you not, earlier?
No, I never criticized your political positions. I didn't realize you were stupid enough to believe the $25 now minimum wage thing, though. So maybe if I had known that at the time, I would have brought that up. But still, on the whole, I would rather have people who believe the things that you believe. But you don't know what the
fuck you're talking about,
than your average liberal.
You don't know what you're fucking talking about. And you're very liberal. I know you've convinced yourself, or at least your audience, that you have some sort of radical aesthetic, but you don't. You don't have radical politics. You've done no radical action.
This is your last chance to save them from me.
No, I mean, I tried in good faith to reach out to you, but you think like such a fucking capitalist content creator, where you think your audience, like, people are going to leech off your dude. I talk to people that are larger creators than you all the time. It's not a big deal. Okay. I saw your community as a community of leftists, of people trying to learn.
Isn't it a community of liberals?
I'm not going to, well, you know what? I don't think it's that important of a distinction when you're trying to recruit people to the left. But when you have content creators like you who act like they're teaching people when they don't know shit.
Yeah, anarcho-Bidenism, you know?
That becomes a problem. And, stuff like you not knowing.
Wait, is there a take that I've had recently that you felt that I was underinformed on? So I don't know, like, the woman you brought up earlier. Wait, you don't wait, then how can you claim that I don't know what I'm talking about?
Every time I've seen your content, and when you've been in a major dispute with people on the left, like when you rail against rent control, or if you think the 25 million.
What's your position on rent control? Okay, so it's the $25 minimum in the rent control. What's your position on rent control? Just asking.
I mean, this is what everybody who's ever talked about rent control talks about. The purpose of rent control is an anti-gentrification measure.
Okay.
To protect existing incumbent communities, but it in and of itself does not solve housing crisis. Because
Mike's right here when it comes to that part. The question is that a net benefit overall, or is it a net negative due to the lack of investment, and could lead to like lack of renovations, and the people who do pick up the properties are going to cut corner. There's a lot of you give and take when you sign on to rent control.
Because there's a supply problem and a demand problem.
Wait, that's my position. Wait, I've advocated for rent control in accordance with government programs to expand housing initiatives. Yeah.
You have time and time again railed against people for supporting rent control.
No, there are people who support exclusively rent control, which is bad because that does lead to...
Who is that?
There are a lot of
fantasy people. You contributed to a discourse that
you think there aren't people who just support rent control? I had people in my chat. I remember arguing.
I don't actually know anybody. I don't think I know. I know there are people who think rent control does a lot better than it actually does, but most people I do know that support rent control, if I ask them about public housing, they support public housing as well. But there could be people who are so gung-ho on rent control, they think it's like enough, or they don't see the downhold sides of it, right?
Alone? Just rent control and nothing else? Yes, I think that's a straw man that you made up.
No. I mean, if you want to believe that, then sure. But in every context where I've talked about rent control, I've said that it's a valuable...
Oh, by the way, everybody, I was looking at my form for my rental property that I'm moving into Saturday, and it was supposed to be $1,375 a month. But the final paperwork they handed me was $1,275 a month. And I did try to inform them about this error, but I think I accidentally hit the hang up button or something. I don't know. It just didn't seem to get there. So, I mean, I can't wait to sign it right when I get off stream, It's going to be great. Nope, the paperwork included utilities. It included utilities except for Pepco and, like, internet.
Leftists, and that would be great.
Why? All you have to do is watch my content to realize that I share your opinion on this. That rent control is fine as long as you have another initiative to address the supply problem.
Okay, so...
You didn't know that? So I guess it's just the $25 an hour minimum wage thing, huh? Which I don't want to get into with you.
You've backpedaled on this, which is fine.
Wait, what have I backpedaled on? Wait, you not knowing my position isn't me backpedaling.
Honestly, I am glad that your community got exposed to a good argument for a change.
What? Yes. Oh man, dude, that's really effective. All you have to do is lie about a person, and when they correct you, you accuse them of backpedaling. That's an amazing debate strategy.
About me. That's an entire conversation about me that you've done.
What have I lied about?
Again, all you've done is posture.
It wasn't about the rat face thing, was it? No lies. No lies. Whereas you actually did lie about you confronting me 10 times in DMs. You did lie about the reason why I argued against the DSA about Destiny being called a Nazi.
You said it wasn't confronting you because
you actually, dude. We went through the DMs on.
What do I need to type for you to say you've been challenged,
dude? We went through my DMs. Dog. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with kids here. Okay, I'm an adult. We went through your DMs on stream. That was some beta shit. If that was challenges, that was some like bottom woo pleading face shit. Okay, you might as well have showed me pictures of your bussy. Maybe next time you want to talk negative with me, actually show up and say something about it, rather than weekly limp dicking in my fucking DMs and then complaining on chat that I won't respond. Okay.
Listen to yourself. Again, time and time again, I have approached you.
We're probably good, aren't we?
No comment about Vaush doing the ageism. Did he do ageism? Let me go back. If he did, I just missed it.
Okay, I'm an adult. We went through your. We went through my DMs. Dog. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with kids here. Okay, I'm an adult.
I'm not dealing with kids here. I'm an adult. I guess that is. Am I against that? I guess yes. Yes. But I don't think that's the same thing as saying you need to be above 25 to be like for like political consideration, right? Or if you're above that, I don't think that's the same level.
We went through your DMs on stream. That was some beta shit. If that was challenges, that was some like bottom woo pleading face shit. Okay, you might as well have showed me pictures of your bussy. Maybe next time you want to talk negative with me, actually show up and say something.
It could have been a maturity state. Adult. What is the common term for adult? A person who is fully grown or developed. So this could mean a few things, right? Whereas age in and of itself is the only factor, like development or age. I mean, yeah, I probably shouldn't say it, but it's not the same, I don't think.
Think about it, rather than weekly limp dicking in my fucking DMs and then complaining on chat that I won't respond, okay?
Listen to yourself. Again, time and time again, I have approached you.
We're probably good, aren't we?
I have tried different strategies to get you to talk about politics. Educate you. Because I feel like it really would have been important. It really would have been important if your audience had learned about Kara Eastman instead of supporting some neolib ghoul just because Destiny's supporting them.
Wait, I'm being charitable to Vaush, but not to Mike because I don't like Mike. I'm doing my best here, okay? Look, I mean, are you really gonna say saying, come on, I'm an adult, is the same thing as saying, I'll send you $50 if you prove to me you're over 25? That's not the same.
I'm sorry, you do real. Wait, how is Mark Gudgel?
How
is Mark Gudgel a neoliberal ghoul?
Have you read his fucking platform?
Yes, I'm fully familiar with it.
Every single Pete Buttigieg clone neoliberal.
Do you know how easy it would be for me to just completely just be like, nah, screw Mike. It would be super easy for me. Super leaked DMs. Let me check. Yeah, these are the leaked DMs. Okay. So, do you know how easy it would be to me to just completely throw Mike under the bus? I could just be like, you know what? Mike is a snaky whatever to hell. And I could go 100% in. Why? Because my community is made up of a lot of people from Destiny's community. It's made up from a lot of people from Vaush's community. Made up of people from RGR's community. Made up from people from Demon Mamas. Made up from people from most of it. But not a lot of people from Mike's. There are people from Mike's, but mostly not. It would be easy for me to throw him under the bus and make some dough on it and just do a few dabs, get some like stuff, do a thing. And I made a joke I made a single joke, but I've done my best to stay out of it, okay? I'm really, really doing my best here, okay? If I'm not doing enough, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sucking up to your guy enough. I'm really am, but I'm doing my best, okay?
Democrat platform. I'm gonna meet with Fortune 500 and 1,000 CEOs. You know what that means? It means TIFs. It means special tax.
You do wait. You do realize that if you're a mayor, you don't have the ability to like leverage over multinational corporations, but bringing them into your cities can be a massively beneficial to prevent brain.
I started this whole thing, Deacon, because I started the whole thing like saying, dude, you don't open up with. I think it was like an immoral or it was like an unworthy. I forgot what it was, but it opened up with a criticism of Vaush. Okay, like I'm done. Okay, I'm doing my best. If you don't like it, I'm sorry that I disagree with you. I hope you'll forgive me.
This is why you're not a socialist.
Wait, I just don't think
you're not a worthwhile person, which is like starting it off with a low blow.
Understand how these systems work.
When AOC was opposed to Amazon getting special tax treatment,
yeah, in New York,
like you attacked her.
No, I didn't. I supported her because New York doesn't have a brain drain problem.
So now you understand
why
it's dumb. Now you understand.
No,
why
you
it's
don't
dumb
understand these problems. New York doesn't have
even if this was an actual like thing, like, you know what, I think he's gonna go too far and cave into the companies and cut out the tax base and da-da-da. Even if that was the case, you still couldn't call him center-right just on that issue. You'd have to find more to prove that Mark Gudgel was center-right, considering he's proposing things that most people in even blue districts don't support. Like stopping blue districts, a lot of elected Democrats in blue districts don't support. Like stopping all cooperation with ICE. The destruction of anti-homeless architecture. And you can't say that just because he said he's going to try to incentivize people from Fortune 500 companies or large companies to go there when they're hollowing out as a community, because he has to work under the frames of our current system and he wants to incentivize them in some ways. But by the way, this is something I asked him personally. Like, are you going to do the race to the bottom? And he ended up saying, like, I'm going to try to avoid a race to the bottom, but it comes to a net calculus of is the positive they're going to bring by being in my community, by the amount of compromises I make with them, going to be a net positive or a net negative? Once it crosses that net negative line, then I'm done. Can't ask anymore.
Brain drain problem.
This is why you're a neolib, because
what if Mike thinks most blue district politicians are center-right? I think if you think that if in the United States you would consider somebody who wants to stop all cooperation with ICE, destroy anti-homeless architecture, stuff like that, as a center-right politician, then I think you're off the wall. Because even in Europe, that would be a far-left position in Europe. Because Europe, extremely anti-immigrant, and a lot of places extremely brutal to homeless people.
Explain what brain drain is?
Doesn't work. Neoliberal race to the bottom.
So wait, hold on. I'm gonna wait really quickly. Last
500 other cities that are gonna do the same thing.
So I'm going to explain this to you really quickly. This could be you gave me some info
about municipal politics.
You gave me some info earlier. Now I can give you some info. Okay.
What's a TIF?
So the difference here was that.
Real quick.
So hold on.
What's a TIF?
Hold on.
What's a TIF, Vaush?
Hold on.
What's a TIF?
I'm not letting you get out of being educated on this one, Mike. This is very important if you're going to be a socialist advocate. Okay. So the difference here is that Amazon's entrance into AOC's district required provisions that would have been detrimental to the city, and New York doesn't have a problem with brain drain because it's one of the biggest cities on the planet.
So you support neoliberal politics in everywhere but New York.
Omaha does have a brain drain problem,
which leads to neoliberal politics will work.
You don't. Can you define neoliberal? Define neoliberal.
It's when you privatize public services. It's when you focus on market-based solutions rather than public services. And what a typical neoliberal policy would be something like privatizing municipal.
Do I know if Mark supports TIFs? I haven't asked him specifically about TIFs. I remember asking him specifically like about incentivizations, if it would be through tax cuts, stuff like that, right? I don't know about his specific. I would have to go back. Did I ask him about private-public partnerships? I don't think he ended up saying anything about it. He might have. I might just have terrible memory.
Water system.
I mean, that would be bad. So, question.
Deacon, if Mike came out and said Deacon, under the logic you're using, because you said, so you just might disagree with Mike's definition, that's right, but you chose to treat his statement as being in bad faith because you biased against Mike. Okay, if Mike came out and said Mark Gudgel is a Nazi, and then I was like, wait, no, that's absurd. And I said all the reasons why. Because he doesn't like have bigotry towards Jewish people, he's not hard nationalist, anything like that. And then he was like, well, wait, I have a different definition of a Nazi than you. Then I would just say his definition is wrong. That's not me just being just uncharitable. I would just think his definition is wrong. Because then if this is how we're working, like, oh, we just all work on completely different definitions, then words mean nothing. Words are supposed to mean something. Then you know what? Bernie, right wing. He's basically a Republican. I'm just gonna say it. Why not? Because I feel like it. Because I think maybe in like Maoist China, he would be considered a Republican. He would be considered right wing. So he's right wing now. That's how it's gonna work. Okay, that's how we're gonna operate. Bernie Sanders, basically Mitch McConnell. Hey, Ink Walrus. Sal Chicken, thanks for the Prime Gaming. And Ink Walrus with the 20 tier 1 subs to just launch us into oblivion. I appreciate the support, buddy. Holy shit, Ink. Wow. I really appreciate that. By the way, I just checked out your profile image. Pretty dope. Pretty cool. 37 messages in chat. He almost has gifted more subs than he has commented in my chat. That is the indication of a true friend of the channel, and I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much.
Okay, I lived in a city where they did that exact thing, where we had a mayor that had a platform almost identical to Mark. Now, see, I know
does this have to do with
politics
Mark?
locally.
Look, if you had a mayoral candidate who wanted to destroy anti-homeless architecture, or was open to destroying anti-homeless architecture, like that's a pretty good position. I don't actually know a lot of politicians who would say that openly. Like, yeah, we should, if I'm given the opportunity to, I will destroy anti-homeless architecture. That's a pretty radical position. That's literally saying I will destroy our current infrastructure in order to rebuild it in an ethical manner, and that is enough of a cost that I am willing to take to make our city more welcoming to displaced peoples. Like, that is, I don't know. It feels like, remember when you Googled definition of adult to give chairability? Well, I just wanted, I'm sorry I Googled words, Keegan, okay? Why am I engaging with you, man? You're not trying to engage me. What the fuck?
Wait, hold on. Wait. So, what would you do to solve the brain drain problem?
Ignorant. You don't know anything about politics.
What would you do to solve the brain drain problem?
I'm trying to explain.
Wait, what would you do to solve the brain drain problem in Omaha? Out of curiosity.
By the way, now that we have over 650 people in here, I just want to say quick. I have 3 slots for tier 1 emotes that I gotta fill up. If anybody has, bro, I just made an argument about the definition center, right? Yeah, which Mike is wrong on. So 3 tier 1 emote slots we have open. If anybody's got suggestions or anybody's good at making that shit, I'd appreciate it. Any suggestions?
Okay, the brain drain problem is due to a lack of economic opportunity,
which you solve by bringing businesses in.
You don't solve it by Fortune 500 TIFs and doing exactly what he was talking about.
Then how do you?
Because I've seen it happen.
How do you solve it? Come on. How do you solve it?
Dunderhead isn't a terrible idea.
You solve it through sewer socialism. This is another thing you don't know what it is, probably.
Just answer. How do you solve it?
Sewer socialism. So you focus on creating the best possible public services. You fund education. And you provide an opportunity for people to maximize their potentialities. You can't control everything by a top-down privatization, TIF-based model.
So wait, you didn't answer the question. So
I did.
You don't know what brain drain is. That's okay. I'll explain it to you. Brain drain is when all the people who get degrees in your city.
This is why you're
no. It's okay. You can learn. Mike,
posture. Mike, what's a TIF?
Mike, this is a learning opportunity. That's okay. Hold on.
You don't know anything about politics. It's embarrassing. I'm talking to you.
No, it's okay, Mike. No, we're almost here, okay? So brain drain is when people who get like college degrees in your city.
Politics. It's embarrassing.
No, it's okay. We're almost there. We're almost there.
And thousands of people listen to you.
Mike, hold on. Hundreds of thousands. So anyway, Mike, So brain drain is when people who get college degrees in your city or state or country or whatever, they leave because there aren't opportunities.
So that didn't happen when Destiny left.
So hold on.
That wasn't technically brain drain, though.
There aren't opportunities for them to get jobs in that area because that area
is occurred.
By the way, for anybody who doesn't know what TIF is, I'm really bad with tax policy, okay? I'm not great with it. And by not great, I mean like I know less than like somebody who actually like works with it, right? But from what I know, it's basically like saying, look, we're going to take some of their like tax money and like recenter it back into developments for said company, so then you could slowly develop an area using that private public basically partnership. Am I right there? That's tax increment financing, as far as I'm aware. Am I right? Am I right? Can somebody just tell me if I'm right or wrong? I'm wrong. I'm half right. Hey, Vish, thanks for the tier 1. Dylan, yell at us so we understand. Oh my god, okay, 1 second. You don't know what a TIF is! Okay, there, okay? So now you should all understand what a TIF is. And I now know what a TIF is, because I yelled. Let me look it up quick, okay? I thought I was somewhat right. TIF. Well, let me just look up tax increment financing. Okay. Tax increment financing. Is a tool used by municipal governments to stimulate economic development in targeted geographic area. Used to finance severe development projects using anticipation of future tax revenue resulting from a new development. When a TIF district is established, the base amount of property tax revenue is recorded using the status quo. To the extent such efforts are successful, property values rise, leading to an increase in actual property tax revenue. While the base amount of property tax revenue... Okay, can somebody just explain it in chat in a way that's not, like, fancy speak? Hey, Xiao Pingu, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. You don't know anything because I don't know Omaha. True. I'm just really... Okay, the reason why I'm not good with taxes is I'm really bad with math. And taxes are a lot of math, and I'm terrible at math. I've tried so hard to learn math, and I'm terrible at it. You did it already? Let me check. It's not coming up. Let me scroll up. Tax is a public financing method that is used as a subsidy for redevelopment infrastructure in other communities, improvement projects in countries. The original intent is to stimulate private investment with a blighted area that has been designated to be in need of economic revitalization. Similarly, okay, I understand that it wants to revitalize an area, right? But like how? Like how? The thing is, if it's just we all want investment, well then duh. But why is it controversial? What? Jeez, you guys are really coming out tonight. You guys got us over the line. The number bird 75. Thank you so much for the gifted 20. Jesus, see, okay, that right there, those 20 gifted subs, that is tax increment financing right there in my chat. And I support it for that reason. That right there was tax increment financing. And I appreciate it. Zitch Light, thank you for subbing with a tier 1 as well. Getting on that 4-month streak. Sub goal met. Oh, Pog cat ears. Well, okay then.
Occurred is occurred.
Okay, can somebody please now explain to me in chat what a TIF is? Because I thought I knew what it was. I thought I knew it. I know it has to do with cutting taxes. And I thought it was like they would use their tax revenue to, like, invest. They would invest with their own tax revenue. Kind of. Or would they, like, would it be based off of anticipated tax revenue? The amount the subsidized back is based on the amount of property value. Controversial because there's arguments about how much the property value is increased usually would have happened anyways.
Occurred is occurred.
It's effectively acts as an incentive for companies to operate in a given area. If the property tax in the area rises because of their operation in it, they receive a subsidy/bond, essentially not paying the difference in increased property taxes from when they first move in the area. So basically, they get told, like, hey, you move into our neighborhood, we're not going to raise taxes. Your taxes are going to stay the same. They're not budging. In case you being here increases the property value of the place you're at because of your location to here? Is that what it is? Is that what a TIFF is?
Occurred is occurred.
There we go. My hair's a mess though. There we go. That's not terrible. Okay.
Occurred is occurred.
Pretty much. So it's basically a hold on your property tax. Wait, so it's like rent control, but for their property taxes.
Occurred is occurred.
Why didn't anybody just say that? Huh. Okay.
It doesn't have like these big like technical job availabilities that would accompany them. So how would you solve brain drain?
Okay, so I want to explain. This is.
Wait,
this
I'm
is
asking you a really direct question, man.
You are so bad at politics. You don't even know that you're speaking neoliberal talking points.
So you can't answer. So you don't have an answer.
This is basically Obama's platform, which is, well, if we just educate and provide tax incentives, that'll make America great again. That's pretty embarrassing.
Ish, I don't know what's with you and everybody else, but I appreciate all the support. We're now up to, it doesn't say it here, we're up to 1,252 subs, which I deeply appreciate as we keep climbing up the Twitch ladder right now. You guys really want me to be able to have my own home. It's like you guys don't want me homeless or something, which is like strange, right? Because like you can get so many dunkaroos with me being homeless. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. And Left Us Out for the tier 2. Left Us Out, a cool creator that you guys can go check out. I've done some IRL streams with him before.
Embarrassing, dude. It sounds like neolibs have a solution to a problem you're not even capable of understanding. Maybe you should read up some more on the problem. I'm sure that eventually a solution will come.
You're the one who knows. You're the one who knows.
That is correct.
You're the one who knows.
One last shot, politics. Mike. How would you solve brain drain? How would you solve brain drain, Mike?
Brain drain is a problem due to, I said it again, I'll slow it down for you.
How would you get them jobs?
Economic opportunity. People leave states like Pennsylvania or Omaha right now because there's no economic opportunity. Right. They originally immigrated there because of economic
What kind of economic opportunity?
In Pennsylvania, it was heavy industry.
Wait, that's not brain drain. Heavy industry isn't a brain drain problem, Mike. We're talking about college degrees. I'm
talking about flowing of populations.
We're talking about brain drain. That's what I'm asking you. How would you solve that problem, Mike?
I can't believe he's this fucking stupid.
How would you solve brain drain, Mike?
You're a socialist. No wonder you're an anarcho-Bidenist.
He can't answer. Damn, dude. Looks like neoliberalism beats socialism yet again. It hurts to see. I mean, this is like the fall of the Soviet Union yet again. But
the problem of populations leaving, of educated populations leaving.
Yeah, educated populations leaving.
How do you solve that problem? So
I'm asking
your solution is.
I'm asking you. Wait, I'm asking you. You know what my solution would be.
I already answered the question.
Your answer had nothing to do. You actually don't know.
You can't solve that problem.
Oh,
people will flow.
Damn, dude.
That's well.
There you go. Hey, if you ever want to get socialist answers, you can look to neo.
You can't solve that problem. You can't get investment into your community. Try to do broad public works programs to try to employ people. You just... What? Really? Just gotta give up? So like if a city or state is facing like huge migration crisis of people just leaving your state for other areas, you just say, well, it is what it is. You don't try. Nogonio, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I really appreciate the 10 gifted. You guys are just going absolutely bonkers tonight. I really appreciate it. Damn. Public works projects don't employ many degrees holding individuals. That is true. Public works programs don't. But the environment that they do create through housing and better infrastructure and etc. allow businesses to come in, which then allow other people to come in who are actually higher degree holding individuals, and that helps with brain drain, right? You need to create an environment that a lot of people want to live in before they will go live there, right? You need to create places for small businesses to prosper. You need to create places for our larger companies to prosper. You need to create places for, you need to have decent architecture and decent infrastructure. You need to have a clean city, and as in like actually like do proper waste disposal, have proper functioning like sewer systems and Make sure like your water system. There's a lot of things you need to do. You need to have proper like maybe broadband. Public broadband could be something that could help make it so your own people get educated at a higher rate. So even if some leave, so many people be getting educated at a higher rate that you'd be able to have. There's a lot of things that go into it, right? Hey Freddy, thanks for the Prime Gaming.
A curd is a curd.
PTO M31, thanks for the Prime Gaming. And TR, you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that. TR4 V1 STY1. Very interesting name. Thanks so much for the Prime Gaming. But anyway, there's a lot of things you can do to try to get people into your city besides just like, okay, you can all leave.
A curd is a curd.
Liberal who can answer these questions, or you can look to a dumb fuck socialist like Mike who can't.
This is why you.
I love you, Mike. All right, that was fun. I think we got about pretty much all we're going to get out of that.
Mama Skeesis, thank you so much for the team. Man, we're getting so many subs. We're getting so much love today. An unbelievable amount of love. I appreciate it.
Technical term for it is. There we go.
You know, I'm actually, my budget for the new house is gonna be tight, but every time I see this, like, it's weird because I'm always like budgeting and trying to like figure out how I'm gonna make this new thing work, because like it is like pretty expensive apartment, but because like it's a college town, so I have no options. But yeah, every time I see this happen, I'm like, damn, I actually got a shot at this, and it's really cool. Squanchy, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming. I really appreciate that.
A curd is a curd.
This is absurd. I almost feel like I need to shoot you guys into another community to go give them subs.
Yeah, there you
go. Wait, what if as a solution to my housing problem, Omaha annexes my city, then they get our revenue, but then since it's in Nebraska, my housing costs will go down.
A curd is a curd.
And then my rent will go down, and that won't be an issue. Easy. I think we've solved this. We solved it. We just need to get Omaha to annex my city. We figured it out, boys. We found the compromise position. Praxis Monkey, thanks for the Prime Gaming.
The carrot.
A curd is a curd.
Oh, we're getting a call.
Base Nav, thanks for continuing the gift sub you got from an anonymous gifter.
Hold on 1 second.
Damn, a lot of support today.
Sure, what?
Hey, can I clarify something?
Okay, what do you want?
So, wait, I got a person in my chat. You can never trust these chatters, you know. Oh, by the way, I heard that you've been, like, clenching your fists saying you'll make sure the left never works with me again. Good luck, not spiteful. Not mad.
No, I mean, you defended like literal neoliberal politics, and you don't understand.
Let's talk. Right, again, I know you don't know what neoliberalism or any of this means, but I actually have to ask you really quickly.
Wait. So you think that tax financing Fortune 100 companies is socialism?
Wait, financing?
I have to invite 4 other streamers who live in Hippie Dippy Politics House, who I'm getting RGR because they also live in Maryland and they're great. Lumi actually lives in the general vicinity of this East Coast as well, so Lumi maybe, and who else? Contra also. That would be a hell of a streamer house. Contra, Lumi, RGR, and me. That would be 100% LGBTQ plus streamer house. We can imperialize the whole state of Maryland into being gay. We just gay them all. Force them gay. Take them over.
What do you think happens when a mayor of a city... Oh my God.
Mark Gutschel... This is the thing.
Okay, this is the thing that's embarrassing, and I don't want to clown you.
But you realize that Marcus specifically said...
Yeah, Lumi, they are... Yeah, Lumi's they, them. Yeah, that's their pronouns.
Wait, Mike, hold on. You realize Marcus specifically said that he didn't want to offer any tax breaks to those Fortune 500 companies, right? That he would find other ways to incentivize them setting up shop in Omaha? Like, he actually said that directly.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do?
Well, there are plenty of ways. If you were more familiar with politics, you could probably think of other ways to handle that, but this isn't why I came here. So, is it true?
Another thing you can do is you can offer to, like, put public infrastructure in the general vicinity of where they're going to be setting up, therefore making their transition easier, because if they have, like, better roads, better area... not only is that beneficial for the company, that can be beneficial for, of course, the surrounding community. But then again, like, then what happens is then what a problem is if you don't do it right, then all the areas around companies can all be like all shiny, and then you get into the actual communities and then it's not as shiny, and then you can see the obvious problem there.
Really quick.
Embarrassing.
So, is it true that you said Omaha isn't a relevant city and that people should move elsewhere? They should be given the means to move elsewhere.
Wrong. I said that because I'm from Pennsylvania and we have deindustrialization, there is a transfer that happens in our economy. That's why Bernie Sanders' Green New Deal, a candidate you should look into and read. He had programs to help people.
Bernie Sanders, a candidate you should look into. See, they're both just terribly condescending here. They're just both like pretending the other knows absolutely nothing about politics.
Relocate when and if their industries, like fossil fuel industries, were closed down. Obviously, some of those jobs that were created, there were direct subsidies. There's also a reflection of an understanding that these specific city-focused is not the way you implement socialism politics. Is we can't have any college-educated people leave Omaha. And by the way, the proposed solution,
so wait, hold on. We're
talking
moving
to Fortune 500 companies doesn't solve it.
So we're moving off the point a little bit here. So as a mayor, you're saying that you shouldn't attempt to redress any of the economic imbalance that's causing people to leave, and you should just allow people to leave? Like, you should try to facilitate that process?
Be clear, you have to allow them to leave if they want to, but you should try to incentivize them to stay with educational opportunities, public investment.
V1 shush $5. Mike says that annexation will solve it, yet they've already annexed a lot of other suburbs already, and it hasn't helped. This is funny.
Fish, thank you so much for the $5 donation. It is true that you can like annex suburbs and stuff. I don't remember if the state has to do it, where it needs to be approved by the state, or if you can just like pass something to annex. I've never been through that process personally, so I wouldn't know. But it's not going to be enough to deal with Omaha's woes. They're going to have to find another way to get in taxable income to do a lot of these projects, and they're going to need to find a way to bring jobs to Omaha if they're going to incentivize people to stay in Omaha or people to move to Omaha. So it's simply just not enough. It'd be like if somebody asked Bernie how we're going to pay for Medicare for all, and Bernie said, we'll tax weed. And you're like, well, I guess that's some income, but you're going to need a lot more than that.
Okay, so this is a homework assignment for you, Vaush.
Well, I'm asking you a question. Hold on.
Go look up sewer socialism.
It's just really funny to me.
You're lacking in so much knowledge.
Destiny went over on stream. So Omaha doesn't have any suburbs they can annex, like as in if you look on a map. Can you give me a link to that?
It's really funny to me.
You won't let me finish because
you claim to be pro-working class, but your position would allow.
Wait, let me look at this. Cities annex suburbs. How does it work? Is it this? Doesn't the state have to make? Yeah, I did check this out earlier because I watched a little bit of the debate. It's a process by which there's a common state of city urbanization neighborhood areas can be done because the neighboring areas seek particular services because the city seeks control over suburbs. In the United States, all local governments are considered creatures of the state. Creatures of the state, according to Dillon's rule, which result from the work of John Forrest Dillon on the law of municipal corporations. Dillon's rule implies, among other things, that the boundaries of any jurisdiction falling under the state government can be modified by the state government action. Okay, so does that mean the state has to approve it? As in, the state of Nebraska would have to approve Omaha annexing suburbs. So it's not like Mike could just become mayor and then say, Mark could just become mayor, or Mike, either one, and say, look, we are now annexing all the suburbs to fund our projects. The state would actually have to approve it. If I need more subs and more donos and more viewers, Brento, you're right. I should just annex all the other streams. It's rare and politically fractious idea. But am I right that the state has to approve it? How do you get annexed into a city? Can a city force annexation? Forced annexation is a subcategory of manipulatively initiated annexations by which a municipality can unilaterally force individuals in unincorporated areas to live in a municipality. Only a handful of states are considered forced annexation states, like North Carolina is extreme even among those states. So which states have forced annexation? Is Nebraska one of them? Let me look. Nebraska. Nope. Which states are Iowa, Arizona? No, not forced annexation, foreign annexation. So it's just North Carolina. Nebraska. So Nebraska cannot force annexation. I mean, the cities can't enforce annexation. It would have to be the state government that would have to approve it, right? So we'd have to negotiate with the state government to and then approve these suburbs. Right? We'll look in more into it when they get to this topic.
Allow Middle America to die.
You need to go on the chair of learning because you don't know what socialism is.
So I
didn't know.
Why are you so incapable of
Eastman
answering
was.
yes or no? You're so angry with me.
Because
are you okay?
That's not how you
do you need a sippy?
Politics,
do you need
Vaush.
a nappy time? Are you tired? Should I come back later?
I think you're
are
the
you
one
cozy
tired.
right now?
You're the one who
is your
hung
neck
up.
properly supported?
I think that you Baba is empty, and that's why you had to go refill and you disconnected.
Swing and a miss, Mike. So anyway, so you're saying that people should just be allowed to flow out of these cities and towards like coastal cities.
What?
So what should be done to like economically revitalize?
This is actually embarrassing to talk to you.
You actually can't answer. It's funny. Your position is the neoliberal one. You actually think that people should just move out of Middle America and go live in megacities on the coast.
Whenever I talk, you start talking.
So
I have a homework assignment for you.
You can't answer the question.
There you go. I started talking.
He actually can't. Dude, he has the neoliberal position. Unironically,
you started talking when I started talking.
So wait, answer the question. Answer the question then. How would you prevent people from leaving Middle America?
You can't. Wait, is that in your socialism? You think you can prevent people from leaving one region to the other?
No.
This is Soviet style.
Okay, hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. Sorry. I forgot you had 30. Wait, sorry.
Stupid.
Hold on. So I forgot you had 30 IQ. So what I actually meant, and any reasonable person would have known what I meant.
Go ahead.
What would you do to prevent the drain of resources and labor from Middle America towards coastal America?
Tyler $5. Vaush bad. Also milk from PA bad. Ha 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 ha. Funny, Aaron. I chat.
Oh man, that's a great one. That's a great one. 1 second. Oof, that was hilarious, man. That was absolutely hilarious. That was so funny. 1 second, let me just find him in chat quick. Okay, well, that was so funny, man. I mean, I can barely contain myself. I mean, that was just so funny. I mean, that's so funny, man. Just like, oh my god, like, that's so funny. It's like, wow, man. Okay, man. I mean, it's so funny, actually, that... Oopsie doopsie. Banned. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just so funny. I actually can't mentally cope with it. So, I have to keep you out of the room. Sorry.
It depends what you're talking about.
So, do you want all these communities to just die?
I think some communities are going to shrink, which they already have. And neoliberalism is what made them shrink.
Working class Mike over here. Don't revitalize your cities. Just have everyone move to Seattle. Dude, you have Destiny's position.
You're actually dumb as fuck. Because I've tried to say this 8 times. I'll say it again. Look up sewer socialism.
So wait, can you answer? So you can't answer.
I'm answering the question.
You just keep pointing.
Okay, I just want to make clear, like, sewer socialism is not something I really heard much in politics, like, ever. I think I maybe heard the term once, and I think it basically has to do with, like, reformism and, like, local politics versus, like, overthrowing the government. It's not, like, a common term.
Me to like a Wikipedia page. I know, by the way, because I know how stupid you are, that if I actually go ahead and like read it out loud, it wouldn't actually.
I think I'm right there. Again, it's not. I haven't heard it much, so I think that's what it means.
Answer any of the questions.
Fuck, you're dumb as fuck.
So you actually don't have an answer. You just want these communities to die.
Every time someone answers,
pro working class Mike over here. Just move out of Omaha. It's a dead city. Move to a mega city.
Or you're just gonna posture like a fucking
move to a mega city
rat.
and pay $3,000 for rent for a single bedroom apartment. I'm looking up sewer socialism. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. By the way,
yes, it absolutely does.
It doesn't. Wait, then answer the question. How would you prevent that drain of resources and labor?
It depends what you're trying to accomplish.
You can't answer. You just have to be like, dude, look at Wikipedia, bro.
Neoliberalism doesn't want to stop that. And
stop asking me tough questions. Go look at Wikipedia, bro. Leave the call. I don't know. Is that you right now? Damn.
I gotta.
Well, good luck getting the rest of the online left against me, Mike.
Smarter than this. You are dumber than I thought. Okay, so anyway, for any people in Vaush's chat that are listening, please look up sewer socialism.
He doesn't have an answer. Look at that, guys. This is the effective advocate for socialism. He can't give an answer. He just has to be like, "Go look at Wikipedia, bro."
Very important movement, and it focuses on.
I know it looks like I have no answer.
By providing public development. So something like Omaha, they have a problem with housing quality for their Black and brown community. Mm-hmm. One of the things that a sewer socialist would do would be focusing on building high quality public housing.
How?
They would be focusing on by spending the money to do
what
it.
Money?
By taxing people.
What money?
By taxing people.
They don't. Have you seen the Omaha city budget? You're very educated on that city, so I expect you have.
By taxing people.
What? Wait. How do they afford to tax those people?
So I'm just gonna keep talking because
wait,
you have
wait. Magic money, Mike?
Wait.
Taxing who? They don't have the money.
I mean, the whole thing has been disingenuous, but I don't think, like, how do we pay for it is really... The thing is, we always talk about, how do we pay for it? But I think it's always, like, a legitimate question. Like, how do we pay for our policies? Definitely when we talk about city budgets. Like, maybe if you're, like, a deficit spender on the national level, then that's different. But when we talk about the local level, like, you have to have a balanced city budget. You might be able to borrow in some circumstances, but you really should aim towards a more balanced city budget. And, like, borrowing is, like you don't do it. Like, you can't, like, cities can't just come out and just like print a bunch of dough. Okay, they don't have the ability to do that. Like, you have to be like, yeah, it's much more legit on the city level. So if we're talking about the city of Omaha, like the asking how you're going to pay for it is a legitimate question.
I think even your community,
they don't have the money.
That you are now arguing a Joe Manchin level of an argument.
He doesn't know. Money. He just gets confused and he calls you a neolib because he doesn't know. His like ape brain is trying to figure out.
There is absolutely an ability to tax, including nationalizing public services that have been privatized, take them back into municipal control, which has been very successful.
Okay, Destiny talked about it. Okay, well, look at what Destiny said. Well, wow, this Twitch streamer Destiny, he exists. Happy that we checked that clip out. 1 second. I think I clicked the wrong thing. Here we go.
But you can't, like, somebody in Omaha tell me, like, going south, we can't annex Ralston. I don't think you can take that. You can't go east because you would have to annex fucking Iowa to do it, okay? You'd have to cross the river. I don't know what the fuck is north of Omaha. And out west, we've already annexed Elkhorn. I don't think you can go any further west. It's all, like, nothing. You run into the fucking Pacific Ocean if you go further west. There's nothing until then. Like, dude, he knows... I don't normally give a fuck, I guess. I don't normally identify with an area or whatever, but I guess as somebody from Omaha, is this how people in Omaha felt like listening to me talk about Omaha politics? Or I don't think I said anything too wrong. This guy has no fucking idea about anything that exists in my city. Like,
so the only possibility is something north because he said, I don't know about the north. That's the only possibility for annexation. But again, okay, so can somebody send me like a map of Omaha, the city of Omaha, and like the surrounding suburban communities, if that exists somewhere online?
Yeah, but when you take it into municipal services aren't exactly giant money makers.
You don't know the answers to them.
How do you get the tax base necessary to fund all these infrastructure?
Can't take his word for it. Even though I think obviously I would like to take his word for it, I would like to see a map if possible.
Okay, this is actually really important because one of the things that you can do and has been done successfully by a lot of cities is you annex outlying areas. This is so a lot of cities are gerrymandered where the suburbs, where a lot of the higher income people of cities live, is not part of the actual urban core. So what you do is you hollowed out the tax base. One of the things you do is you annex outlying areas. I'm happy to teach you a municipal.
No, wait, how do you get the money?
Actually, you know what? Let me go back. You know what? We keep asking about Mark Grudgel's position. Let's go to a really cool YouTube channel, quick, and check out a Mark Grudgel interview to hear his position on these issues. Here we go. We can go straight to it. Gay couples. Let's look at the topics we covered, by the way. Favorite book, and then we went into green spaces, which is a big local issue for me as somebody on an environmental board and about to be on a tree and landscape board. LGBTQ issues, undocumented people, him versus opponents, bikes, getting young people involved in politics, supporting small businesses and people who are struggling, anti-homelessness architecture, gay couples being able to adopt, homelessness, drug abuse, and legalization of marijuana. Biggest safety concern for Omaha, what can be done? Incentives for big companies. Let's go straight to it. Okay, here we go. I got a question about that. A lot of times when this happens, when it happened with like Amazon or any factory trying to get into your city, there's what as many people call to a race to the bottom, where you start basically. So this is me bringing up the concern because he talked about a little bit earlier about trying to get these big companies over. So he specifically said he wanted to deal with Braintree, deal with this. I was like, okay, how do you do it? And I specifically asked him. So if he doesn't give a good answer here, then I'm trying to remember because I don't remember his answer completely. I just remember him saying he wanted to incentivize it, but like up to a point. Basically saying, well, we'll cut your taxes here, we'll do this for you here, and then a lot of the profits you would expect to see from businesses coming, you don't then see that in city revenue. What would you do to make sure you incentivize them to come and you get them in Omaha, but you don't do a race to the bottom that means you don't see the benefits?
Certainly, yeah. So I think you've got to get really creative with what you're doing, right? One of the problems that Omaha has that's not unique to Omaha is urban sprawl.
So I didn't ask him about police? Okay, I had a 1-hour interview with the guy. I can only ask him so many questions. Let me see if I did ask him about police. I think it was on one of my questions I was going to, but we just, again, I had 1 hour. I will say, though, I should have asked him about police. But no, I did not ask him about police.
And being surrounded by suburbs. And, I mean, that's pretty natural, right? That's true of most major metropolitan areas. But, you know, a lot of people, you know, in Omaha don't buy the house in Omaha. They buy the house in Papillion. They buy the house in Bellevue. And there's nothing wrong with those cities except that we can't tax those municipalities. And so when you own your house there, your tax money doesn't pay for our firefighters. It doesn't pave our streets. It doesn't fund our schools. And so
Sorry if you can't see me. My camera just malfunctioned. You can continue.
All right, cool. You know, I was like, do I talk to the dot? Like, pretty cool logo, by the way.
It's Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
If you want, by the way, this People Spark Forever, I can actually email Mark. I do have his email, and ask him if he supports a citizen review board, police review board. If you want me to, legitimately, I could.
You know, but like, there's a lot that we can do, I think, in incentivization, right? So yeah, I mean, maybe, you know, if Chevy says we'll build the Volt in Omaha, I expect to have to give them pretty hefty tax breaks.
There he is.
But I think we can build into that how many Omaha residents they're going to employ.
So he's pretty blatant about, yeah, he's pretty open. It was tax breaks.
Paving the roads that these cars are going to drive on and things like that, so that ultimately we are improving the lives of our citizens.
What was the other thing you said?
And how much money they're going to put into paving the roads that these cars are going to drive on and things like that, so that ultimately we are improving the lives of our citizens. I frankly, I need to not give my opponents a soundbite, but what I will say is that how much tax the company pays matters less than how much good the company does for the people of the city. So if Chevy moves into our city and paves our streets so that we don't have any potholes and employs 5,000 of our people who all go out to eat and all buy houses and all buy cars in this city, I don't much care if they're paying taxes or not.
I got two questions then. Is there a red... Okay, so, see, I heard that, and I'm trying to remember here. Sorry, I have terrible memory. You see me, I say, and it's because I didn't like his answer. Because I'm very, very yikesy about just, like, offering large tax breaks to companies to get them into your community. So I ask him follow-up questions about where his red line is. Because I need to know what his red line is. I'm not against any tax breaks, period. But I don't like the race to the bottom where a bunch of cities are pitted against each other to try to dig out just their pockets to try to give them the best opportunity possible. So that's why I'm about to ask him about the red line, I think. Line for you when it comes to that race to the bottom, which you're not willing to pass, that you could declare. And two, would you make sure and pledge to make sure that these are union jobs, that these people are represented by a union? No, I forgot I asked him that, make sure that these jobs were union. I don't give myself enough credit as an interviewer. And this was actually a really good interview. I'm really happy with this one.
So yes and yes. And to the first question, I think it becomes a cost-benefit analysis. I can't give you a number. It's going to be, is this good for the city of Omaha, or is it just a thing, right? We don't just need a thing. We don't just need a factory. But if ultimately we sit down and go, no,
he
the
said there is a
long-term
red
contract
line.
says this
So
employs
this is what I was talking about earlier. He did say there was a red line he was willing not to cross, and it's just cost-benefit analysis. That's what I was saying earlier. So I did have memory of that. I didn't remember the union job part.
a lot of people and so on, you know, and this is good for our city. That's the answer, right? If it's good for the city, I'm going to do it 100 times out of 100. And then, you know, secondly, absolutely, we'll support union jobs.
So if they say that, and I push him on the union job part, because I want to see if he'll cave on it. These will not be union jobs, and they fight against it being union jobs. Would you reject that? Trying to incentivize them at that point, saying we want union jobs in the city, and we will not undercut our workers.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm not going to say that they necessarily like that we'd tell a company you have to employ 100% union. I don't know if there's a company out there that does that. But I'd want to know, and I'd want to look into it, right? I met the other day a gentleman who's the head of a union, and I wish I could remember the name, but they represent custodial staff in our city and maintenance crews. And, you know, those people need a seat at that table too, right? If you're going to open a factory here, you're going to have custodial staff. I want to see those be union jobs as well. And so, yeah, we'll fight for it. I'm not going to say that a company can't, you know, build here if they're not 100% union jobs. But it's certainly something we'll incentivize.
Okay, so he wants them to be union, but he says not 100% union jobs. Okay, and I want to say, by the way, out of all the answers he gave in this interview, this was the weakest one. For example, let's go to the last one, which this was the question I had in my pocket, which was supposed to be like the one where I thought it was going to break him. Because remember, this is Nebraska. This isn't exactly the bluest of states. And this is, again, one of those tough ones that the rest of them, he's just straight up like 100% bangers on it. And that's not even to answer this question horribly. It was just his weakest answer. I hope doesn't get clipped, but might. So, you know, be careful here.
All right. Thanks for the warning.
If you were elected mayor, would you make Omaha a sanctuary city, and would you stop cooperation with ICE?
Absolutely. That one's not tough for me. I've spent my life devoted to working in human rights. And as is frequently said, and I think very meaningly so, no human being is illegal. This country was founded both on noble principles and the blood of slaves, right? Nothing is simple. Nothing is black and white, or very few things at least. And I think defending our fellow human beings is one of the things that falls into the category of, no, that's just right. And so, you know, I know I have no interest in working with ICE at all. I have every intention of defending human beings, especially those with the greatest need. And that would include many of my students. And I'll go ahead and go on record and say I would encourage anybody running against me to clip that and use it away, because it's not a story I'm about to change.
Basically, Mitt Romney, guys. I mean, that's Mitch McConnell, basically. I mean, yeah, I'm just like, the rest of his answers are like that, right? I'm very happy about this interview. For example, he talks about his plan to make everyone in Omaha have free college as a mayor. And he has to do with working with local businesses to try to create scholarship programs to make everyone in Omaha, if you graduate in Omaha and want to go to an Omaha college, you get free. This is a really good interview where he goes into a lot of his policies that aren't even in him. For example, when he says he's going to fight the governor, I then move on to how are you going to fight the governor? I ask him about inequalities in school districts, biggest safety concerns, homelessness, drug abuse, and legalization of marijuana. Gay couples being able to adopt. This is because some cities can get on court cases that have to do with LGBT issues. How to support small businesses, young people getting involved. This had to do with public transportation, him versus opponents, more LGBT issues, undocumented people, and green spaces for environmental issues. And this is over here where he talks about his history and foreign policy and work around the issues of genocide. So yeah, really good interview. I didn't get to ask him everything I wanted to, but I think I did a decent job. Anyway, back to the mic thing.
Money to implement.
I just explained it.
Just by annexing dead areas?
No, there.
Just the transition from that polite kind of regimented discussion to this is pretty jarring.
Wait, do you think Omaha has no wealthy outlying
Do you
suburbs?
seriously think that unincorporated areas surrounding Omaha have enough of a tax base?
They're not unincorporated. They're the wealthy suburbs. This is true. Chat, here's what I would like you to do. Look up any major municipalities.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Right
can you show me a major wealthy suburban area that's outside of the city tax limit of Omaha that isn't incorporated under any other city?
You would get rid of that city. You would annex. That's what annex means.
No, you didn't say just annex outlying territories. You mean annex another city? How would that change where the money is coming from?
Because you have wealthier.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my god, you actually know so little.
Dude,
about
what if you just like seize control of your neighbors?
Well, I don't think he's talking about annexing cities like Vaush is suggesting. He's talking about annexing suburbs that are on the outliers of the city. The question is there suburbs around the outliers of the city that they could annex that they haven't already annexed? Number two, would that be enough? And number three, we don't even know if those suburbs are like running like great, like are doing great, and how much that income it would even bring in. You're looking for a map discussion of annexing. Destiny went into it. Okay, let's look right here then. Wow, that's a good map. Anyway, back to the thing.
This has worked before.
How would they annex another city?
I'm going to explain it to you, Vaush, but you're actually embarrassing stupid.
Wait, you don't have an. You will run this down for like 30 minutes. You don't know.
Holy shit! I'm trying to talk, and you keep
So
interrupting.
your argument is that in order to generate the tax revenue necessary to upgrade the infrastructure in Omaha,
okay.
which by the way.
Okay, it's 225.30. Let's go. 225.30. There we go.
Several nearby cities and towns operate as suburbs of Omaha. The largest is Bellevue. I don't think we can, when it comes to places, so like Bellevue, Benson, not Benson, I'm sorry, Ralston. I hope I didn't say Benson or Ralston. Like Bellevue, Ralston, Papillion, I don't think we can annex these cities. I think they're too big. I don't think that because I remember talking to Mark about this, because unironically, this is what I told Mark. I was like, dude, we need to just fucking annex it all, okay? Fucking get the Omaha militiamen and go and annex these motherfuckers, okay? Take them out in a video game. Take them out of their own city and bring them into Omaha is what I meant, by the way. I think the problem is that Omaha literally has to change the state charter in order to be able to annex cities of this size. Like, there are no more just wealthy suburbs that are just sitting there to be annexed, I don't believe.
Oh, by the way, let me be clear, right? Like, if Snipes wins, I'll be happy. Like, does everybody think I'm married to just Mark? Like, literally, if another progressive wins, like, why would I be angry? If Snipes wins, I'll be happy. Because that's somebody who I think could also beat the person, possibly. Could also beat Gene. Mark's cool, he's my choice. But the same way I would have been happy if Warren ended up beating Trump, even though I was a Bernie guy. Why would I be angry?
La Vista and Papillion? There's no way we can annex Papillion. La Vista is... I don't know if La Vista is too large to be... This is not what I'm looking for. Also, La Vista is pretty south too, isn't it? Yeah, north of Papillion, south of Ralston. Because I'm almost positive we can't annex Ralston. So can you go south and grab La Vista? I don't know. I don't know if you can.
So it's a lot of I don't knows, so nothing conclusive then.
What about Gretna? Gretna is way too far away. Where the fuck is... Gretna would be west on 370. Is way, way, way too far away. Although this area has grown a ton. But yeah, there's no way.
Oh, anyway.
It doesn't even fix brain
We're gonna
drain.
wrap this up
What
soon.
they should do is annex neighboring cities to get their tax base.
They're not.
Mark did say that you need a state to change the state charter. Exactly. So Nebraska most likely isn't a state where the city itself can annex it. You'd have to get the state to approve it, right? And then And if not, you'd have to change the charter so that the city of Omaha could do it on their own, right? What about providing better services to help STEM grads? Yeah, and I think one of the, again, he specifically talked about this, and one of the incentives he talked about was providing people with free college education from elementary school to college while working with local businesses to get scholarships. Which I don't know how effective that would be, but, well, it's an incentive.
Cities, they're outlying suburbs.
Then again, why not just use that, get the
what do you
occupation
think
and
suburbs
leave?
are
Do you know
in?
what white flight is? What is white flight?
Oh God!
I don't. Wait, just answer the question.
What is white flight?
You can't answer.
what
This is a
Range Ranger
pivot.
was.
Mike, you're
white
doing
flight?
it. You're doing it again.
Vaush, what was white flight?
You
What
do
was white
realize
flight?
that suburbs
What was
bleed
white
money,
flight?
right?
White.
To be clear, white flight is when black people come into the neighborhood. White people like, my housing value, and then they run away. Okay, that's what white flight is.
Flight, Vaush. What is white flight?
Okay, so you don't have an answer, and you're just going to ask rhetorical questions that everybody has an answer to.
Every time I talked about sewer socialism. I talked about.
So can you point me to an area in Omaha that's suburban that hasn't been annexed? You do realize that suburbs are an economic drain on cities, right? There's a video series that I can show you. Suburbs are actually the least economically productive.
They're saying that cities lose because of the creation of suburbs because they lose their
the annexation of suburbs will decrease the city's revenue.
Wrong.
He doesn't know.
Dummy, you're stupid.
All right, that was good. Have fun.
You're actually
Don't be mad.
dumber than I thought.
Neoliberal Mike, just move to the coastal cities. All right, wow. I knew that he would have a dumb answer, but annex other city as a mayor, just annex other cities' suburbs when suburbs cost more in upkeep than they generate in taxes on average, and that'll get you the money necessary.
Okay.
To do infrastructure.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. I'm done. I can't do anymore. I hope that's the end of the conversation, okay? Because I just can't. I'm done. I'm sorry, like, if there's anything else that I missed, but I don't need any more, okay? I'm good.